Okay, so today is officially, I think, going to be the first episode, if the new season started, of my permadeath challenge of this game. So this is going to be the finale episode, not finale episode, but finale month, finale season. In other words, I'm going to play a lot more this month. Instead of just my Friday schedule, I'll try to fit in a session wherever I can to try to punch out and grind out this rank 50. So I have to get to rank 50 this month, otherwise I have to delete my whole collection and the series is over. And even if I do get to rank 50, I'll probably end the series anyway. Like, that'll be the grand finale challenge, but at least I get to keep my collection. I can always come back and do something else with it. So either way, I have to get to rank 50, and whether I do or not, the series has basically reached its finale. I don't care about that. I'm certainly capable of buying packs and stuff. I guess I'm wrong. No, fuck off. You're so fucking... I really just built this up. No, dude, 5 days. So it'll start when the season ends. And, you know, I discovered it. I guess I'll play it anyway, but I don't really see the point then. Because whatever I do now isn't going to help me. Or maybe it will a little bit. It'll give me like a little boost. But no, the point is that... So 5 days. So it ends on like the 15th of the month, I guess. I should remember that. Like, I always get triggered when games do that, but... I've been playing the game for a year, but I guess I never really care. But no, it says sometimes, oh, seasons end more than... Seasons last several months, but they don't. They last 1 month. That must be some typo. I saw that in the game last time. But, yeah, if you get the gold badge, you start where? Like, you start at silver or something. I forget how it works. I mean, I should try to push my limits to see how far I really can get. So let's do our typical Captain Combustible thing. Or I was trying to do the Yeti Zombie, but... So the only rule that I'll change, it's still free to play, it's still no crafting, it's still permadeath heroes, but I can do multiple in the same episode and in the same week. Like, so normally, like, okay, I'll play as Combustible, and then if I lose with him, I'll not be able to play him for the rest of the episode. But what I'll do instead is I'll play as him, and then I have to rotate through the other heroes, and when I lose with them, then I can come back to him afterwards. So I'll still keep that sort of intact, but I won't worry about the fact of yeah, we're gonna play this pretty much every day now because I'm gonna have to, right? And so at least now I know 5 days from now, so I'll try to remember. It'll be what is today exactly? Is it the 10th or the 11th? I forgot. It's the 10th. So the 15th of the month. So I'll have till October 15th. This is a pretty exciting format, like I do with a lot of my card games. I haven't done it in a while because I haven't had time, but we are legitimately doing that. That is going to be the finale of the series with respect to... Again, it's the finale either way. So October 15th, the series will be over, or whenever, within a day or two, if it's up or down. That'll actually be an epic way to end the series off, and... I can either do it triumphantly as my collection stays intact and I can always come back for some fun gimmicks and stuff, or I can obviously do it, you know, tail between my legs and just having to basically delete my account, delete my whole collection, whatever you want to call it. And then I'll also use that to inspire myself to do Magic the Gathering in the same way. After, like, the next expansion that comes out with that, I'll play as green and I'll try to get to I'll have to get to Mythic for the first time. And remember, this isn't just like, oh, my first time getting to it. It's my first time ever trying to get to it, because I think I can say that legitimately. People might think, oh, that's just an excuse because you suck, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, it's not true, because I've never played enough where that would even be a possibility, right? Like, I've gotten to rank 20 a couple times before, but then the month is over because I, you know, play so little. So it's not really fair to say that. Root Animal. And you have, you know, just sort of spread the love a little bit. But no, Captain Combustible would almost be the one who's meant to be here with respect to, like, he's aggro, he's been pretty good. He would be somebody who could power me through. Like, let's get to rank 20 real quick here. I'm just nervous about the amount of time it's going to take. I have no doubt in my ability to do it, although somewhat, once you get to a high rank, it's going to be tough with losing ranks and stuff. I'll go on good streaks and bad streaks, so sometimes... That was a fucking nuts turn for that dude. Holy shit. This guy's the fucking MVP of the game. But no, this game has very satisfying presentation. That's the one thing I'll always leave as the takeaway with respect to... I just love the visuals of the board so much that they seem like tactile, real things, right? It'd be fun to sort of play a game like that, period, where it has... you know, this type of, what is it, truffle magic? I don't know, that can sometimes be a little deceptive. But no, it's like, they don't feel like cards, they feel like minions. And I've said that a million times, and probably people are sick of hearing it, but it's such a simple touch that every other game should do. If PvZ Heroes could do it, every other game should be able to do it. You know, Hearthstone, etc. But no, they still appear like cards on the field, which I know is hard to do, such elaborate animations for these things, but that's the whole beauty of it, is you have... See, at my own peril, I'm ignoring that, but I should win the game anyway. Yeah, this is just a superfluous session where I wasn't expecting to do this. Because of the simple fact that, you know, I just wasn't planning on... I thought the season would already have started. So 5 days from now and a few hours. So it would be really more like the 16th. And then I have to take it hardcore. But maybe that'll overlap pretty well with Friday. No, I think that still won't be enough. Yeah, Friday still won't be. What the fuck? At least I know now. I was just going to check, but then since I was already streaming, I figured I may as well do it. Let's try to get to rank 20. Just for the fuck of it. Which again, that's as far as I've gotten. I think not only rank 20-ish, but like rank 20 on the nose is as far as I've gotten. I don't know with the follower notifications. I don't know if it would tell you like when somebody changes category, because like somebody will come in because I'm playing PvZ because everybody likes this game so much, right? So it's like, I don't know. It sort of makes sense that it should do that, but it also would spam them, so I don't know. Or you could put like a notification, or people would just see it in general because they follow the category. So you wouldn't even have to follow me. You could just follow literally PvZ Heroes itself and be like, oh, you know, so there's 2 people watching, one of whom is myself. And it's like, oh, that's because somebody's actually streaming it, because nobody ever does that because it's just a dead game, in a certain manner of speaking. I mean, it's about as close to a dead game as you could ever have, because you might have a passionate fan base, but that's, you know, that's all you have, or that's part of the reason why. So I certainly like it. I like the aesthetic. I like a lot of things about it. Pretty much just I wish that the game had more active development, and everybody probably agrees with that, but... Or again, I hate the block meter. The block meter fucking sucks and everybody hates it. It's a shitty mechanic. But that... I like how I said that the first episode too, and everybody agreed with me too. I immediately said I don't like it, and people weren't even mad. They were like, yeah, you're kind of right. It does kind of suck. Again, not saying the superpowers shouldn't exist. It just means that you should get them some other way, rather than how much damage you take based on how much damage you do, or based on every 5 turns you automatically get a superpower. There could be other ways to get it that aren't rewarding you for getting hit. Or it could even still be the same thing, but it just wouldn't make you immune, right? That's the way to say it. So... you can do this. Draw a card when the plan does a bonus attack. I mean, it seems a little bit wasteful to do that, where it could be far more valuable later on, especially with how efficient that card is for only 1 cost. So my mic is a little different here too at this setup, but I'm gonna have to do it at both setups. I'm gonna have to do it all the time, all day, every day. I'm gonna just have to quit playing chess to try to do it. I better play as much chess as I can then in the next 5 days, because otherwise, you know, I'll fall behind. But look, it's only a month, so as much as I'm getting stressed out about it, it's like, it's a fun thing to do. It's been a long time coming. It's a fitting finale. And then, it, you know, once it's over, it's over. Then I won't be playing this game maybe ever again. Not that there's anything against it. It's just like, you know, that's the reality of how a series goes. I played this for over a year, which I certainly didn't expect to do it that long. So it has to end at some point. The only series I'll say that's not the case with, fuck off, is like Hearthstone. I don't think Hearthstone will ever end. I'll play that till it goes offline, because, you know, that's just one of my go-to games that I never will get sick of. I don't play it that much now, right? I don't do anything meta with it, but still, just in principle, I will literally play Renounced Darkness till the end of time. So it seems like I'm going to lose this, which is very shocking and very unfortunate. And so this is what might happen later on. It's not that I can't win games, it's that I'll win one, lose one, and never make progress, or something of the sort. And so this is really a shitty thing to have to play. In fact, I mean, I'd hope to try to buff it, but why even worry about removing it then? I'm dead. It should count for 2 itself, you know? That's kind of lame. Okay, that makes it pretty worthwhile, and then I can buff it further. So please just give me minions. I'm surprised I even have the fucking card draw. It's not the kind of deck that you would ever give a shit about. But I guess you don't want to burn out the way that... Okay, at least that'll trade in, or it won't. But no, this is the perfect definition of a casual card game, or a casual game period, but that doesn't mean it couldn't have become much more complex over time. I'm gonna ignore everything and just go face, because I'm a fucking moron. And he's almost dead, so it would have almost been worth it. Right, because he committed so hard to every other lane. And I'm still okay in terms of my health. But I'm not getting saved by the... I'm not getting saved by the actual... Damn, I already got my Berry Blast, so it's not... I don't know what I could get that would be face damage. Deal 1 damage to each zombie. The overshoot is gonna kill me, isn't it? Overshoot 3. I don't know if that's gonna trigger my block meter, basically. I actually have no idea. Fuck, I don't know. Do I like hope that the block meter happened? No, but it still wouldn't kill it though. I'm so confused. Like, I could have done it there and played it there and I would have hit you for 2, but it wouldn't have killed you. So now if the overshoot, I'm sure they can kill me. Yeah, that's going to be the only annoying thing, is the rotation of the permadeath heroes and stuff. I'm dead. Or no, I could still... Fuck. Don't get saved by the block meter, even as I'm talking shit about it actively. Okay, so the one thing we got to consider... Okay, let's go to the Yeti. I also do that, where I rotate between the... You know, the 2 types. The 2 classes, races, whatever you want to call them. Zombies and plants also. So, like, see, the rest of the episode now, I won't play as Captain Combustible because we lost, so that's it. But... And it would take so long to keep rotating like that, but whatever. It keeps it kind of fresh and gives me a variety. But that will be pretty annoying to do. Pretty good curve. I've only played as this guy a couple times now because I just got him, right, I think episode before last. I only played with him probably last episode. It's hard to judge him, but most of the zombies I find kind of bland. Like, I don't have anything super exciting. The one thing I was excited for was Bad Moon Rising, but then I couldn't... Nobody else can use it, so it's kind of, like, limited. So I have 8 heroes as I go on this journey, right? Only the starting 3 and 2 more that I had to buy with gems, which is, you know, free to play still, but... And the criteria for buying the heroes was, I'm only allowed to do it if I have a legendary of each of their types, each of their class types, which was only applicable to the Yeti here. So I had no choice but to do it with that. I think with the plants, I had a couple options like Rose and stuff, but I don't like Rose, so I chose obviously Combustible, and he's been very good for me. I can't complain. He might be my best one actually, performance-wise. Not because he really has the best cards, obviously double Dark Matter, Dragon Fruit, and all that shit that we have. I should play this guy a little more mid-rangey, but Gargantuars have Frenzy. Dominatrix costs 1 more. I don't really care about that. Right. None of my decks are really control because this game just doesn't have control, but also, I don't know. That would be acceptable to me, so it's good. I do like the Gargantuars, just in general as a, you know, they're just good value. They're just very, you know, exciting, fun. Some of their appearances are pretty good. But no, the community for this game is generally, you know, very positive and awesome. But it is also something I could make fun of a little bit. Like, I don't get that whole thing, like, where if you don't have brains, it just lets you cast it for free when you get it. It seems almost like a bug. Because they have a cost associated with them. But maybe that's the first. I don't know. I don't know. But no, it's also like the simple-mindedness to it. Like it's a simple game, so like I don't know. It comes with a certain. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this. Dominatrix costs 1 more, which doesn't matter. I'd forget my own flower if it wasn't stuck to my head. Wait, what were we talking about? Forget me nuts. Some of the puns are very good with this too. Okay, you're just being annoying with that. The fact that it makes my tricks cost 1 more doesn't even bother me. Like, I don't even care about that, but I just care about the sheer board presence and the annoyance of, why not move it to the height then, though? The only thing I'm not sure, wow. The only thing I'm not sure about with this game is the amount of bots that you play. You would think there are, because I refuse to believe that it's as popular as this shit shows. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm getting something from a quest that, like, right, like craft. No, I don't want to craft. Right, like, tap it in the menu. I might have accidentally done that for one of them. Right, but, well, I guess actually that would invalidate the whole playthrough then if I did. Then I'd have to remember what it was, but I think it was something that, if I did, it was something that I already had like 4 copies of, so it wouldn't matter. The Wall Knight's been pretty good. Green Shadow has actually not been very good, despite the 2 Dark Matter Dragon Fruits. Like, I might have to reassess what deck I'm using with them because, I don't know. You don't understand how much of a meme it is for me, though. Like, I'm actually struggling. I'm getting heated over the prospect of trying to get to rank 50 in a mobile fucking casual clicker card game, right, for little kids that's basically dead and going offline. I'm actually stressed about it because of how much of a casual I am, that, oh, I'm not going to have enough time. I'm not going to have enough time. Like, bro, think about the low state in life you're at to actually worry about that shit. Like, how much of a casual fucking clown shithead idiot are you that you'd be worried about that? Oh my god. What a fucking moron. Yeah, go ahead, play something in the middle again, fuck it. You know, if I have nothing else to play, I will do it just because it's a waste of a turn. I don't want to just do nothing. So I have a couple legendaries with him, obviously, but it's sort of overrated at times. Like, I'm not saying it's not a good card, but it'll almost have no impact on the game because I'll do it and then it'll just get killed before, you know, anything happens. So in a general sense, it'll be good, but oh shit, what a play. And I don't even mind the fact that it's probably going to trade in. Move a plant and you'll move it there, I bet. Or maybe you don't care if I trade it, but you would think that would almost be good for me because now I can buff it up. So I was willingly walking into the trade. Okay, so again, the problem with this scenario is I haven't gotten to play a good 3-peater in a long time either. They were always the star of the show at the beginning of this run. I don't know what's happening. I could have frozen something. +1 another professional zombie gets hurt. Bro is literally whipping me with his tie like it's a fucking fetish item. That is something I actually find attractive. I like when women wear ties and suits and stuff. There's that one talk show host who always does it that I like her appearance. So it's like, yeah, that's a new take on the fetish of being whipped. Whip me with your tie, please. Fucking... Hey Simply, how's it going? One at a time for him to walk in. So we go here, and this would be fine. Or the melon might be better. This should be generally pretty good. That's the whole theme of Green Shadow overall. You have the splash damage in various forms. I got to 1700 on the chest. That's my great chest accomplishment. How about you? Are you, what, 2400 yet? Because he was 2000 plus. Already. Yeah, it's not really that big of a deal, but some amount of progress at least. I guess I was already that in classical from a while ago. Bro is gonna be an IM before I get to 2000. Or, you know, as far as react content, I almost should have reacted to the presidential debate tonight because of what a disaster clown show it's gonna be. I guess I could do it later. I don't have to watch it as it happens, but you could freeze that shit. You should just do it like this. Okay, so we'll freeze it and we'll do that. Move a plant. So you could just move. Okay, dude. They're a little bit dry on cards, but I don't know if I'm gonna get the chance to, you know. It's like turn 8 is just so far away. Like it's just, what? 2,500, really? I almost don't even believe it. That'd be fucking insane. He was only 2,000 before. What? I'll have to look at it, actually. That's nuts. How did you do it? You must be going to over the board events and stuff too. Yeah, I'm not gonna get to turn. I'm not gonna get to the turn that I need to get to here. Is that gonna be a professional? Professional zombie. That's +1, so it's not gonna do me any good there either. Wish you were, what, going to events? Tournaments? Yeah, a lot of people have that problem. Like, they can get really good online, but then they have trouble affording the trips and the, you know, because it's not like chess pays very well, so it ends up being kind of a waste of time and money. Literally the worst thing that somebody could try to do for a living, but it won't stop people in their passion for still trying to do it. You can do this to try to trade both, or I'm just gonna die though. It's like I finally get to play it, but then it's not gonna do me that much good. And it's actually going full circle because we got so lucky in a no crafting free to play first playthrough that we got 2 dark matter dragon fruits, and he is the very icon for rank 50 that we're gonna have to get to, so it's very fitting. So if we can just survive what we have here, it'd be very nice. Move a zombie to this lane, but there's already one there. And then you have, or I should have done that sort of the opposite way. Or no, it wouldn't have mattered because then it would have powered up anyway. So we might actually win this though, still, believe it or not, depending on what else they have. Right, if you can just keep the board under control now. Of course that doesn't, well, that's kind of puts a damper on this because I'm just top decking. If they have any minion at all, I'm just dead. Why are you on Plants vs. Zombies? I've been doing this once a week, like, for the last year, so it's been one of my little mini-series, but now I'm doing, like, a challenge with it where I have to get to the max rank, basically, this month, otherwise I have to delete my account. So that'll be, like, the finale for the series. I always play card games in some form, so I like card games almost as much as chess, or actually more than chess. At least collectively between them, like, you know, Hearthstone and Magic and all these other ones. I mean, you can still do this where or well, wouldn't, wait, would that have mattered though? I guess no, I should have tried to do that. Or actually, I guess I shouldn't have even bothered doing this today, though, because I thought the season would be over, so I don't have to play it for a couple days, right? 5 days, so it'll be the 16th, then the new season starts. Right, so even when I say, oh, this month I have to do it, haha, technically not, because it'll be next month, because it'll start this month, but you know what I mean, like this season. How do I enjoy streaming? Yeah, it's been pretty fun. It's been a little bit inconsistent because my schedule is like so random, but I lost as him, so now do I get to see a good Badman Rising out here? I guess I won't even bother trying because, you know, let's give him a shot though. Super Brains. I don't really like Super Brains that much though, despite that. Yeah, if you're that good, you should stream yourself and you'll, you know, make big bucks. 2,500 rated player gets to show off. You're better than Alex Botez already, or other people like that who get so many views, whether justified or not. he is a great case example of somebody who's improved at a great rate, though. Like, he was worse than me, no offense, in like 2022. It's only been 2 years. Like, how the fuck? Even just him getting to 2000 was impressive itself, but you know, I should have been there a while ago myself, but I'm just too much of a clown. Oh, look at this. As much as I talk about the queue times being so fast. So we did the daily quest, but this is all just like gravy. That, you know, whatever, I can do a little pack opening. Name the Bane. Like, who is even at a high rank? And again, like, no offense. Why is it like that? No offense to people who play this game, but it's like, clearly I can show everybody up because I'm a hardcore gamer, and everybody who plays this game is a filthy casual, but I'm something of a filthy casual myself now too. But you know what I mean? Like, am I really intimidated by this kind of population of a game? But obviously people are still going to be meta tryharding, net decking and stuff. Yeah, I brought back my debate format like the last 2 weeks where I had to do it against myself because I was, you know, because I don't really have that kind of community anymore, whether in size or whether in the type of people who are interested in that. So I literally was debating myself and playing devil's advocate, which worked pretty well. I mean, I was sort of rehashing some of the takes that I would do and stuff, but that was fucking hilarious. That shows you the power of objectivity. It's like, oh, what's the point in debating yourself? But if you thoroughly flesh out each issue, then it works almost just as well. Kind of like even in chess, you get to, you know, sit at the chessboard and play with yourself, as Magnus said. So basically, it still has value to it because you're trying to win as both sides. I don't personally enjoy that, actually, but it can be instructive or whatever to play against yourself. Chess is too hard. Well, you're better than most people, so it's apparently not as hard for you as it is for other people, myself included. Yeah, it is very annoying, and I especially don't want to study. Why would you even do that? What kind of bot plays are we seeing here? Or he did it for the card draw, clearly. Or he's like me when I first started playing, where I just play them as soon as I get them. The chimney sweeper is okay. We can do that, and we can do higher gets +1/+1. So we're trying to go face, even though that's not really the nature of this deck. You could just as easily pass it off as mid-range because you're trying to do Badman Rising. But some of this stuff is going to stick around anyway. Like, I keep saying that, but it hasn't happened, which is surprising. Right, like, I'm just going to win before I get the chance to even play it. That's the whole cuckery of it. Even if you would have the chance, the game's over one way or the other. I'll lose or I'll win before. 5 or more, I even got it. So this is good. Right, zombies not having team up is a real crime, though, because that's what they do in the games. Is they have literally hordes coming at you. That's the whole point of the... Okay, this is a little problematic. This would be one of my favorite cards in the game if I actually had it, because I love the Untrickable. 3 mana 0/9. You move that to there, which is okay. Yeah, my pink flamingo. I don't know if Simply saw that. My pink flamingo has gone viral with 100 views, which is really nothing but the fucking chess technique that I explain how I play. And it's like, it actually is a little bit instructive for low-rated clown players, at least like me, where, you know, you sort of try to trade everything, and, you know, that's what my weird flex was. I got to 1700 using this chess technique, so anybody who's not 1700, without having to study too, anybody who's not 1700 is totally, you know, missing out. Wait, what? Why is the block meter not... Or did it have strike? I don't get it. Okay, we never get to fucking do Badman Rising. That seemed like perfectly sent to try to do it too. So we do Walnut, and then we sort of go Solar Flare. I can't control which ones I play as because I have to play all of them in rotation, but I can control the order in which I play as them. Which, when I'm doing these short form once a week 1 hour episodes that I normally do, it means that I can completely ignore playing Solar Flare ever, because it's not like I continue over. So it's like, you know what I mean? It'll be I'll start off, okay, I play Captain Combustible, then I play the Smash, then I play if I lose, then I play Green Shadow, then I play whatever. So I'll save Solar Flare for last, but then the next week's and then the episode will be over before I get around to her, and then the next episode I'll reset with Captain Combustible. So I never play as Solar Flare, or I never play as like I don't know, Infinity now is maybe the Outcast. You just have to study a lot. Yeah, that's the part that I've been resisting doing a lot. So I just don't want to, but someday I'll have to. Or that'll be the real satisfaction, is I want to see how far I can get without doing it. Never read a chess book. Don't even know openings. Don't even know notation. This could be good if you keep kind of beating it like a dead horse. I don't know why I'm trying to play so aggressive, even with these kind of decks that are not... even with these decks that are not meant to be... See, why wouldn't you play that first, though? I don't get it. Everybody does seem like a bot, or they're just dumb. And just bad, and just little kids. I love that insult in chess, actually. Oh, haha, like a little kid. You realize how fucking good some of these kids are? Like, they're fucking literally gods. We set up for a good Spineapple play. Like there's literally 10-year-olds who are like IMs and 15-year-olds who are GMs. Like, you can't judge it by whether, oh, you know what? Yeah, if they had done that properly, that would have died too. Like, there's nothing I can really do about this, is the problem. Oh, I messed up. I'm mocking them for the misplay, but I mean, I guess I just have to ignore that guy because I can't do anything. Where does it even reflect that it has Death Touch, though? Or Deadly? The phone cord stretches to another dimension. That's not very flavorful flavor text. That's just a literal description. There are 12... Yeah, is there? I thought it was like 13 or 14. That was the youngest GM. Like, Sergei Karjakin was one, and then maybe somebody else now. Hey, Warm Shirt, how's it going? Yeah, and that's why it doesn't prove that he's better than Magnus just because he got to a GM at a slightly younger age, but it is still very impressive. And he was so unfairly treated, being banned for chess for personal views and personal comments that have nothing to do with chess itself, even if I disagree with it, blah, blah, blah. But I hate that that's the standard that's used. Like, so should all the players from the Soviet Union have been banned because they... Whatever, people from China should be banned now because they support the Chinese Communist Party. Like, it makes no sense, really. They have concentration camps in China, but that doesn't stop people from still, you know, doing what they're doing. It's just a consistency issue. Like, if you're really going to care about it. Like, Ding Liren is the world champion. That doesn't mean that... And maybe he likes China. Maybe he said positive things about it, but... I don't know. Deal 1 damage. I really don't want to do that, nor do I feel the need to do it. I got myself all hyped up that, oh, it's going to start today and I have to start doing this, but it's going to basically be next week, right? It'll be almost like next... I don't know, 5 hours and 17 minutes, so it'll basically be... Or 17 hours. So it'll basically be next... I don't know. I can't do the math right now. But it'll be after this Friday's episode. So I won't play until Friday. Then Friday I'll get ready. I'll do a pack opening. I'll maybe build some decks, whatever, something like that. And then next week will be the serious thing where I have to start playing like every day to try to grind this stuff out. Which I never thought I'd say about a game like this. Why don't you ever commit to one game? Well, actually, I'm talking about doing so right now. But I kind of have committed to chess in a vague sense too, because I have played it so much. But yeah, it's mainly because I haven't had enough time to play something enough, so then I feel like, you know, what's the point? Then I can't really get into it. I was doing that at the beginning, like I did that with some of my hard modes, like Dark Souls and stuff. But then you know, my schedule kind of got all messed up. All your cards do double damage. I swear I didn't remember seeing that icon before, though, for that same effect. But maybe I just haven't seen that effect too often. 5-9, so I can easily deal with that. And I thought about using that on the 1-5. But no, I was thinking about doing that too, like where I have like an ongoing permadeath run or hard mode series, which I surprisingly haven't done that in all this time of me, you know, in a while. Like, I could do that with my Thursday format once I get rid of Throwback Thursday. I have so many interesting formats, but the problem is I don't have enough time to actually do them, so it gets kind of dumb. Like, I introduce the format, but then I never actually do it. Or I'll start a playthrough, but then I'll never actually finish it or continue it. That's a good problem to have, but... Bring back Dark Souls, yeah, I would have totally done that if I had time. Or if I had beaten Dark Souls 2. I wouldn't even consider it a failure, but I would consider it kind of confusing because I, you know, whatever. I got sort of burnt out of it. Wait, what happened to like our past chat history? I know we've chatted before on there. Or maybe he always talks in Twitch chat. I think you can see even my chest cursor there. Wait, why does that happen? Oh, because you're going like off the screen. Yeah, something like Elden Ring. There's so many great games I could play that I just never get around to, but I should do that as an ongoing format. Once Throwback Thursday is over, which I've been doing for a while, like where I go back and play something I haven't played in years, like Town of Salem or whatever, right? So once I'm done with that, I could do a Thursday series where like I play a different sort of series every week, or like whatever, an ongoing permadeath run until I beat it. So a first playthrough permadeath or a hard mode or something. So that would kind of be fun. I could just pick a game, some random game from my childhood or something like that, that I just never beat or never got around to, or it could be a new game. Any game that just I haven't beaten, I could just do as a first playthrough permadeath, as is my signature format that I just don't do very much anymore, sadly. No, I was waiting till I became a grandmaster at chess or a Twitch partner so that I could fucking make enough money to stream full time, and then I'll do it. Like, unironically, that would almost be what I have to do. When a zombie hurts this, move that zombie to the left. I don't know what the hell is gonna happen with that. I think it's quite clear that I'm not going to win this game just based on the crazy board that he's put together, but... LA Noir, yeah. That is right when he, like, started watching me, actually. Yeah, like, I could do another sort of series like that where... I guess that could have been part of Throwback Thursday, too. Bring back series that I failed. So I failed the first playthrough permadeath of LA Noir, or like Danganronpa, and so now I could come back and do it again. So I get a second chance at a first playthrough. Second chance at a permadeath first playthrough, which technically seems like a contradiction, like it's not really a first playthrough anymore. But it technically would be because I haven't beaten it. Did I really lose as all three of those already? How? Or no, I don't think I played as a Smash, did I? I think I skipped it because I did combustible, then I did the Yeti, then I did Green Shadow, then I did Super Brains, then I did Wall Knight, so now I'll do the Smash, I think. Man, my memory's bad. I certainly haven't won very many games here. Hey Blast, thanks for the follow. How's it going? So now we have only, it's nice that he's having an even number of these two now, with the plants and the zombies. We have Solar Flare, and we have, who's the other one? Infinity, neither of whom I really want to play as. So maybe I'll just end off after I lose as the Smash. But oh no, then when we start doing that rank 50 push, we're going to have to actually play as some of the heroes I don't like, because we're going to be forced to play that long that we have to get around to them. What am I doing right now? I'm just kind of not really doing anything, because I thought the season would have started by now, but it starts like in a week. So once we once we get there, it'll be, I have to get to rank 50 that season. Otherwise, I have to delete my account basically, or delete my whole collection. So I'll have one chance, and it'll be only this upcoming season. Wow, that was actually super convenient. I've almost never gotten value out of that effect, actually. That's fine. I interrupted my chess session to do this shit, though, without even, you know, being able to properly do the format. Okay, they're ranked 26 gold. This is where the matchmaking is kind of unfair, because I guess it's not that far off from mine, but board zombies can't be hurt this turn. That's fine. 5, 6. I do like the smash, but I don't know. I feel like he's not quite good enough. I wish he could have used Bad Moon Rising too. It almost suits him, because I always have a pretty good board with him. Yeah, that Thursday slot, I could totally do something like that with. That seems like a good idea. You know, where I get to actually do like a series that's a continual basis. That isn't just like a one-off. It's different with stuff like this, because it's just like an ongoing series of an online game. But like when it's... I'm trying to think of some examples. Like what would be a first playthrough permadeath I would want to do? I can't even decide. Just any sort of new game, like what is that? Star Wars Outlaws. I could just do that randomly, or anything. Right, and just do a first playthrough permadeath. Anything, either that I never got around to, just a game I've never beaten, or a game that just came out. Your hero's health can't go below 1. Why are you doing that, though? Why? See, these are the plays that make you feel like you're playing a bot. Why have we seen that happen twice today? Well, whatever. I guess I'll farm bots on my way to rank 50, then. I wanted to get to rank 20, but I couldn't even get from 15 to 16. That's where I started. This is a pretty good card, but if the plants think they're going to beat the Undying Pharaoh, they're in denial. Good one. All zombies get +2/+2, which won't really matter too much. We should win this just on the raw value on the board. I wouldn't mind doing that. So what if we just do a 2 and then the 5? I rarely get to actually even play that. We have Bad Moon Rising at home. Bad Moon Rising at home. Like, it's still gonna give you good value for having a lot of stuff on the board, but not nearly as good. So that still won't survive, but it'll at least kill it. That is still pretty satisfying play. Destroy zombies here and next door, but you won't live to see the day. That's like a poor man's dark matter dragon fruit, although it's actually comparable, because I don't know, it's a case where, let me see if there's something good on the shop, actually, because, you know, we can still keep buying packs as I'm doing this challenge, but, oh yeah, I forgot, he just said that. We can keep going with, not Wall Knight, or wait, oh shit, he's gonna force me to play a Solar Flare. Okay, fine. Rank 16, or rank 4, oh look, I'm a higher rank than him. Which doesn't really mean anything at all, but imagine getting outpaced by somebody who plays once a week for an hour, but who knows how long everybody plays. I don't know, I just hate Solar Flare. I just hate her because it's a contrarian move, because everybody loved her so much at the beginning and kept saying, oh, get her, like when you get to choose the heroes at the beginning. I'm pretty happy with the ones I have. The zombies are all kind of boring to me. I don't like any of them. Like, the Smash is okay, the Yeti is okay, Infinity is kind of boring for some reason, and even this this other dude is kind of boring, Super Brains. Even though I finally got Bad Moon Rising, it's sort of underwhelming. There's just something missing. The Smash Wheeze has a good mid-range sort of value to him that I like. Yeah, I even count these friend duels in the permadeath rotation, where like if I lose then that still counts and I can't play as that one anymore this episode. Conjure Mushroom, Conjuration effects are always top of the list because they're going to be better than whatever garbage I have anyway. Conjure a Mushroom. Not the first time I've asked for that. So that's okay, I guess. It's kind of a waste, but... It's funny, too, because, like, you'd say, oh, this is a casual game and it doesn't have enough cards, but, like, I've been pretty satisfied. Maybe because I haven't played it enough, really, to get bored of it, but, you know, I don't have every card in the game, and it would still take me a while to get them, and, you know, in a year's worth of playing, but that's the whole point. In a year's worth of playing casually, if I played it enough, you know, if I played it enough, it'd be a whole nother story. Now, should I do that, or should I just ignore it? I don't care, really. Maybe it's fine. You know, I don't know what I'm exactly doing, but should be okay. Isn't there one game you're really good at? I mean, I wouldn't have ever really said that. I would say more, I was good at a type of thing in games, like permadeath runs and hard modes generally. Right, and it could apply to a lot of different genres, but maybe not so much anymore, and maybe... there's no good curve play here, though. Oh, this would actually work out pretty well. Then I'm not paying attention. Fuck me. But yeah, I wouldn't say one specific genre, or it should be chess, but I'm just too much of a clown, or I guess I'm at least moderately good at card games from my past experience. Yu-Gi-Oh! And Hearthstone or whatever. I'm good at like doing stuff outside the box. Like I come up with these weird strategies that often, you know, there'll be like some world first thing that, oh, you know, Luigi's Mansion Super Hard Mode and it's considered unsolved and nobody can figure it out, or nobody wants to try it because they assume it can't be done, and then it turns into, you know, I come up with just a weird way of doing it, right, that kind of works. So stuff like that. I come up with weird strategies. I used to have sort of nerves of steel a little bit, where I could deal with like high pressure moments, which I don't have that at all now. I'm a fucking flake, because that always happens in chess or in other circumstances, like where I choke and stuff, or even in permadeath runs. I've had so many chokes, like where I'm doing well and then I just, one thing goes wrong and then I just fall apart, right? That's the problem that I've had. What you can do is you can kill that off. You can do that, which maybe isn't even that great. But yeah, that is a good question. Like, what would I say I'm really good at? I don't even really know anymore. Yeah, that's kind of my whole thing too. I would have found it boring to just commit to the same thing over and over, so I wouldn't have wanted to be good at one game. I would want to be like, you know, I'm more like a format person. Like some people like speed runs, I like permadeath runs or hard modes because you can do it with any game, right? I'm doing it right now, even with a card game. Like, oh, if I don't get to rank 50, I have to delete my account. That's a permadeath run too, or whatever, you know. Even in chess, I do that. If I can't get to a certain rating, I have to delete my account. I do that in real life. If I can't complete some project at work in time, I have to delete myself or something. I have to skip lunch. I can't eat food until I complete this project or something. Right? It's a good psychological thing to do. Not that I'm encouraging such extreme tactics, but he's just gonna outvalue me just because I can't do anything. I did get through all his block meters and stuff, but I should have put it there. I made a couple misplays. I could have played this thing earlier, first of all. Okay, that card is so fucking insane, actually. Because in a game where there's very few AoEs and stuff, too. I love the way this guy looks, too. What's his name? What's his name? Curse Gargalith. Or Gargoliath. Is that what it's supposed to be? We don't have to give up, but I mean, we're pretty much guaranteed to lose here. I've had some pretty clutch comebacks in this game, though. But yeah, like, what do I really expect is going to happen here? You get triggered by a block meter. See, what is that? Why are you targeting that with that card? That's not a... I don't know how that works. Why it shows the animation like that. I would have hoped that the first one wouldn't trigger it, and then he would. Good game. Okay, so who is even left here? Did I win with this? I don't even remember. I don't think I did. Oh, whatever. The point is... No, I think I did, actually. That's good enough. This session was just meant to sort of introduce the format, but I didn't realize we wouldn't be there yet, so that's fine. Okay, so today is going to be the final episode of this series before the last month, in which it's a permadeath challenge. So this is the finale that we had planned from a long time ago. I didn't say exactly how it was going to go, but I always knew there was going to be some sort of permadeath format for this. So what better way to do it with a card game than, in the context of this playthrough, I've never gotten to rank 50, nor have I really played enough or really tried to do it, but that's what this next season will be. So this is the last day before that season will start. It'll be in like maybe 3 or 4 days. I'll have to double check. It'll say it when you go to like the ranked games on the ladder. But the point is that all the formats will stay intact. It'll still be free to play. It'll still be no crafting. It'll still be the permadeath round robin thing. But the only exception I'll make is that instead of saying I could play every episode until a hero loses and then I can't play as them anymore, I'll still be able to play as them again that same episode, because first of all, I'll do more episodes. I normally just play on Friday, which is today, obviously, but I actually did an episode earlier in the week just to see if the new season had started. I always forget. Like, I know it's around the middle of the month, but I never really pay attention too much exactly when. So it'll be in like 3 or 4 days, so it's usually around the 15th. And so I'll have from the 15th of this month, obviously September, to the 15th of next month, something like that, to get to rank 50 for the first time. And so either way, it'll serve as a finale for the series, right? We'll go out with a triumphant, we'll go out triumphantly and keep our collection intact if I succeed, right? And if I fail to get to rank 50, then I'll have to delete my account, collection, etc. Basically where, then the series is over in either case, though. So we either celebrate that we save our collection, or we lose our collection because we fail the challenge. That's basically what's at stake, is like the whole account, with all the lovely stuff we've been fortunate enough to get, considering it's no crafting, like dark matter, dragon fruit, and stuff. And so... what else was I going to say? Just the fact that I'll be playing more often. I'll be playing, several episodes a week, different days, so it won't just be on Friday. I mean, it'll still be on Friday as part of my normal schedule, but I'll try to find time, like how I do with chess. Like, my normal day to play chess is Tuesday, but then whenever I have time, I'll do an hour session here and there, just randomly. So I'll have to replace that with doing this. Right, like I'm actually sweating and worried that I won't be able to do this in a casual card game, but if nothing else, it's very time consuming, and I don't have a ton of time, but I'll still do it. Yeah, we have to get to rank 50 the next season. If I don't, I have to delete my whole account, collection, everything. Whatever, collection might be good enough. I don't even know how you delete your account. So again, but either way, it'll serve as the finale, right? It's like going out with an epic sort of final challenge with a bang, like just whether you succeed or fail, that's still going to be... and I can always come back and do like a little mini series or play it again, but for all intents and purposes, at least doing it on a regular basis will be finished. And then, yeah, when I first started playing this, I thought, I would just play as every hero once. Well, first I thought, I'll collect every hero in the game and then do like one permanent thing with, you know, I'll play as each hero until I lose a game. Like, that's how simple and casual of a game that I thought it was, that, you know, oh, I'll just do that really quick, as if it wouldn't take like a century to get every hero in the game. And then also, just like, let me just play as the starting heroes until I lose a game, and then when I lose, it's over. So that would have been over like the first fucking episode, right? So I underestimated how long I would really be wanting to play this. And so, yeah, we could always come back to it as like a fun little bonus series later on, but it's been a good series. And the only thing I'm going to lament is I'm not going to want to... I'm going to wish that basically I had been able to craft just for some gimmick and fun things, not so much for meta purposes even. Like, I'm always weird like that in card games. Like, I want to make every untrickable card in the game and have 4 copies of each and make a deck like that. That's just like pure anti-spell. That's actually what I'm doing in Hearthstone now. I'm playing my old school counter anti-spell mage deck with all like the elusive stuff and everything. So yeah, if you like this game, actually, you should play Hearthstone. Not necessarily modern Hearthstone with the meta, but you can go back and look through some of the cards, right? That's actually a great bridge, because a lot of people who play this game either say, oh, they don't like it, or they don't get it, or something like that, whether it be Hearthstone or Magic. Magic's a little bit too complicated and just out there, so that's kind of an acquired taste. But even Yu-Gi-Oh is weird like that. But Hearthstone is perfectly aligned with this, because they're both sort of simple in premise, but then they have a lot of depth beneath that. So it's like, you can go to Hearthstone and play Renounced Darkness. So like, even if you've never played the game before, just go in and craft that one card, and it's like, it'll completely change your deck and it'll be super fun. And it's like, you know, you can just have the experience of the game. So Renounced Darkness, Explorer, Goro, Zin, Azari, all these fun kind of cards. I should do like a video where I sort of explain that for people who have never played Hearthstone. Just all the sort of, I guess that's what that series is right now though, where I'm just going through and playing my old school favorite kind of gimmick fun decks. It's different than saying, oh, it's actually meta, or you know, you have to be experienced with the game. They're not even that good, but they're just so dynamic and so interesting. Imagine having 8 copies of the Raw Zombie, dude. What the fuck is this, dude? The card that I make fun of the most, especially in contrast to that what's the other one? The Bray Nana, which I don't even have. Yeah, it's sort of been a rogue-like-ish experience, a Nuzlocke type run where, you know, it's not even up to me what I get, so I have to make the best of what I have. And obviously the permanent dynamic, just every episode, if I lose as a particular hero, I can't play as them again. So, but no, I'll make it so that if I lose as a hero, I can still play as them again, but I have to play as every other one first and rotate and lose with them, right? Something like that, where that'll still become annoying and I'll have to consider that. But yeah, so today's goal, yeah, 3 days, 4 hours left, so that'll be it. My last 3 days of freedom before we actually get stressed playing this. But it'll be like, what do you call it? I will make it so that it makes it seem like I have one pack to open, but it's just sort of advertising for stuff here. The Smash Pack, Science Pack. So yeah, today I'm like putting the finishing touches on the collection. Not that I can't still buy packs with what I earn over the course of the next month, but we should kind of spend some time doing that or touching up my deck. But frankly, I'm going to be too lazy to actually do it. Right, that's what I thought I would do today, but maybe I'll look through it briefly. People always still say, oh, premium pack, but let's indulge some of the other ones just to... Yeah, let's just get one of each of the other ones just for the fuck of it. Galactic Guardians, Colossal Fossils, and Triassic. Yeah, at the beginning of the playthrough, everybody said that to a nauseating degree. Only premium pack, only premium pack. Like, I get that it's good, but get some variety here. I don't really care what it is now. So I haven't opened as many packs over the course of this run as I probably should have, because I wasted my gems on both the 2 hero cards and also the particular, what do you call it? The fucking bonus cards, event cards. If you made at least 6 suns this turn, gain strike through. It's not a bad card. Destroy a zombie, then do 4 damage. 4 damage to what though? Like their face or to anything? Wow, that's an incredibly high value card though. For 2, what the fuck? Wait, I don't get it. Does it mean it does 4 damage to you, or that's kind of unclear? If it lets you destroy a zombie, same price as the one-way. So that means I could destroy a zombie, which again, think about the equivalent of... I'm stupid. I'm thinking about it from a plant's perspective. Like, I get to destroy a zombie for only 2. It normally costs me 5, like with the squash. And then I get to do 4 damage with them too. But it means you're sacrificing your own zombie. Okay, I get it. I was gonna say that's the most busted shit I've ever seen. A lot of these cards I have seen before, but I don't always connect it, because if I don't have it myself, it's like I almost don't even care, or I almost, you know, I'm salty, like, oh yeah, look at all these people using the same cards over and over because they must be meta. So now we get a Triassic. I might not have ever even opened a pack of each of these kinds, but I figure I'll do at least one of each since I have 300. A lot of the stuff is new. I love the way this guy looks, actually. Primordial Cheese Shover. Grapes of Wrath, is that what that is? Oh, whoops. And I don't have any. That shows you how bad my collection is, despite having some legendaries and some very fortunate cards, is that I don't have a single recipe deck, strategy deck completed out of all the classes, right? Every single hero, I don't have a single one with all 40 cards in there. So assuming that these decks are even meta, which they're probably still a step below that, but even if these decks are really good, right, even by today's standard, I don't even have one of those, let alone something else that would be above and beyond with meta. And we're also going to have to deal with hackers. So clearly, if I lose and fail to get to rank 50, it'll only be because we face hackers who have like 40 copies of the same card in their deck that supposedly people are talking about. For one double a plant's health, that would work well with like fucking Walnut and stuff, but I don't know. Let's see. Double a plant's attack. Oh, is this going to be like a Divine Spirit Inner Fire type thing? That'd be kind of cool as an OTK. You double their attack, and then you double their health. Wait, but that's kind of backwards. Or no, it's not exactly like what I'm thinking, but that is really good, though. I mean, double their... Okay, you can double both. I mean, that's such good value. Zombie Evolution Destroy. Plan is okay. Plus one of the professional gets hurt. I don't really have these archetypes down pat. Like I have sort of split. I have a couple sport zombies. I have a couple pet zombies. Like it's not quite cohesive, so it wouldn't really work to commit to one of them. So professionals, I don't think I have a ton of. Start of Tricks transform into random zombie. This is kind of like that stupid card that I always like as plants that I never get to use. The what is it called? Whatever. It becomes like a plant between 2 and 6, and we did like some sort of mathematical equation for it too. We get that sick beat every time we open one too. Yeah, this is our epic pack opening of the whole series, which is 3 packs at once, which is actually still more than I've probably typically done, because I mean every time you get 100 you would just buy one anyway, or you would like, we got a lot of new things from it. Oh, we get a legendary too. How fitting, how amazing for this episode. Would it have been possible at the beginning of the series, like for me to get, I mean I guess I only have 4 heroes now, would it have been possible for me to get a legendary that I couldn't even use? Like if it's out of the 3 heroes I have, it's a type that I don't have, right? Wouldn't that have been possible? Like, it's a Guardian, and I don't have a Guardian in my collection. That is kind of weird, how that never posed an issue. Or that's never happened with, like, any card, so... I guess between the starting 3, you would have probably had to have every class type in there. When you play a Mustache, this gets +1, and you get +1. +1 health, okay, +1 brains. I mean, that's so good value just for... I'm a big fan of the statting on these kind of cards. Any 1 mana 2/2 is up my alley, right? That's just good. We can see my whole philosophy with that too is like whether it's be because I don't have a meta sense or just in general. It's like I don't care about the effects usually. Well, I shouldn't say that so broadly, but like a 1 mana 2/2 is going to serve you well. Pretend it's a 1 mana 0/0, but it has a 0/0, then it wouldn't exist. A 1 mana 0/1 or something, but it would have some other good effect that's situational. If you don't get value out of that 100% of the time, the 1 mana 2/2 is going to be better value anyway, right? That's always going to be good. The stats are always good. The effect is only sometimes good. But the reason why that goes out the window too is because, well, if you build your deck exactly the right way around it, then you'll always get the effect, or when you do, it'll be so good that it's worth it. Like, I get it, but especially in a game as simple and casual as this, you would think that's not an issue. What is this scrolling function? Oh, okay. Pumpkin shell, a plant plate on this gets +2/+4, works very similarly to how it does in the actual game, I guess, although it wouldn't have attack value associated with it. It's like, or it's kind of the opposite. No, I guess you could do it that way too. You could play this first and then put the plant inside, or you could play the plant and then put this over it, right? But yeah, there's a lot of contradictions. I should do a review at the end of this series, like, oh, you know, here are all the inconsistencies of how they misrepresent the game in terms of, oh, the cattail is so garbage, just a 3/2, even though it's one of the best, most busted cards in the whole PvZ universe. Loco Coco, make walnuts next door, nut evolution, plants with no attack. Oh, wow, this is so good, dude. It's a little expensive, unfortunately, but you know, by turn 6. But, you know, it's the kind of class that really plays into that. That's very fitting because I don't know that Wall Knight really had that much going for him. He's been good, but see, that was such a fortunate pack opening. And who said only open premium packs? Even though that has nothing to do with the fact that I just got lucky and got that. But, you know, man, I've been very fortunate, though, with this run. It's like sort of karmic justice thing, right? That, you know, you're choosing not to craft. So out of that sense of honor, the universe is sort of rewarding you and saying, you know what? That's such an honorable, ballsy, brazen thing to do that you're going to be a free-to-play new player, you know, new account. You know, it's a year old now, but just like, you're a free-to-play new player, no crafting, all these other formats, and you have the guts and the gumption to say we're not going to, we're just going to rely on what we get. So it's the universe sort of giving back to you. So Solar Flare is not one of my favorites. In fact, just based on my average session of play, I always avoid these two. So my favorites are like, I love Combustible, even though, well, I'll say I like Green Shadow the most. Then I like Wall Knight. Then I like Combustible, and then I like Solar Flare. But I respect Combustible's performance, so he might be my best performing one, just because of his pure commit to aggro and stuff like that. Obviously, Green Shadow I like, but he hasn't done actually all that well, despite the double Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, because I often don't survive long enough to get to that point to be able to play them. And then Wall Knight is also pretty fun with the defensive style. And then on zombies, I like the Smash, and I almost don't even like any of the other three. But normally it would have been like, the Yeti is sort of undecided because I just got him, so I've only used him for like 2 episodes, but he'd probably be around the middle tier. Then Super Brains only gets up there because, oh, he has the thing. He has Bad Moon Rising. Before that, he would have been at the bottom. And then Infinity, I also don't really like, because it's like they're sort of aggro too, but they're not really as fun. Or I don't have the right commitment the way I do with like, which maybe I should change these decks. I thought that's what I would do today, but I'm feeling kind of lazy. Let's just more so look at our collection rather than actually change too much. Yeah, this is the thing that we just got the equivalent of, the Seedling. Yeah, I still never got to say that line of repeat Moss, though. I would have made a deck just to do that. The kind of memes this game deserves, but didn't get until I started playing, because nobody would ever fucking think about this shit. We want to get rid of one thing here for the sake of that, assuming that I even want it. 2 minutes. Yeah, like, I don't even have healing in here that I would get that, do I? I feel like these end up being useless. Like, what the fuck is this? I don't feel like that's too important, so we'll get rid of that. I gotta come up with some sexy names for these decks, too, if I'm really gonna, you know, commit to this. Like, let's try to come up. Combustible was a good one for the, you know, for Captain Combustible. I came up with that one immediately as soon as I got him. Let's see. Something to do with the sun. Obviously, like a pun, but something that's, you know, let's come up with something almost RP existential, like is my style at times. When I get immersed in something like you go blind staring into the sun. So, like, blinding sunlight or something like that, right? Or that doesn't really sound too good, though. You know, come up with like a poetic thing or a pun, one or the other. I'm more the poetic guy, where I want it to be like something deep and meaningful and existential and whatever, just super, super deep. Blinding sunlight, that's kind of basic. Or how about like boiling? That's actually kind of just fun. This is the boiling point, because whatever. It's not really anything super special, but it's just, you know, we're gonna burn you alive, or like, we're the reason why the zombie's skin burns off, and that's why they're all skin and bones. Right, you're already skin and bones, so let's help you get to the other side. Boiling point, blinding sunlight. Maybe we can combine the two. Boiling, no, I don't know. That's okay. I mean, obviously you're to do with fire and you're to do with the sun, even though the deck itself doesn't really have anything to do with that per se. Why did the music just stop? Oh, because you went in like the text form or whatever, I guess. So even if I do that and cancel out, no, that's weird though. Let me think for a second. I'm satisfied with either of those. I like that whole analogy of, like, you know, somebody going blind, staring into the sun, or like Icarus with the wings of wax, who tries to fly too close to the sun and they burn off, and they, you know, he comes crashing back down to earth. It's like something from mythology. I don't know. I'd have to see. Like, if people were here, they could vote on it. What's better, blinding sunlight or boiling point? I don't know. I guess that's okay. I don't really like her anyway, so I won't be playing as it, but I'm not going to have a choice. Yeah, let's at least do this, where we give a name to each. Like, you know, something defensive, turtle mode, turtle style. You could do a pun to do with nuts, obviously. I think I made a joke to do with that too, but I can't remember exactly what it was. This is nuts. But I mean, that's not really much of a name for a deck. Nutty Professor, or something on that. Nutty Possessor. That kind of works, because I'm possessing so many nuts. Or come on. There's got to be something, either this would be too easy to make a nut related pun. I swear I had this one joke that was really good, but now I can't remember. Something to do with nuts, something to do with just being defensive. Blue, I mean, blue balls, because he's getting blue balled over there. And it actually fits with the style of play, because, you know, you're sort of blue balling your opponent from being able to, you know, you're blue balling your opponent from being able to do anything, because you're cucking them by being so defensive minded. I don't know if that really works too much. I mean, it would imply blue nut, you know, it's sort of the same innuendo dichotomy. I didn't think I'd be doing this aspect today, but just building the decks more so, and we got very fortunate with some of the cards we got. There's got to be a better one than that, though. Just like this is nuts. That would be fine, but something that uses that same idea, but in a more creative way. Let me think. I used to be pretty good at this kind of stuff. You know, I would write like short stories, and I'm good at like namesaking and stuff, but like coming up with these little like one-liner quotes and jokes. That's why I always take pride in my titles so much, even though now I'm sort of running out of them. But some of them are actually pretty well thought out. Or I'll just make like references to like memes, or like a title of a, or like a quote from a movie or something. So I'll sort of rephrase it into, you know, like, I am padding the series and don't call me Lily. That was a good title, like, from my PvZ hard mode that I used for this on YouTube. Like, you know, I am serious and don't call me Shirley from Airplane. It was just kind of taking that and extrapolating on it. Come on, something to do with nuts. I fucking had one too. I just can't remember. We're gonna spend the whole episode just doing this, because that's fine. I mean, this is like our last chance to just enjoy it on a basic level, casual level, and then we actually have to take it seriously. So I'm not gonna play until then, but then I'll start playing, you know, until like 3 days. But then I'll start playing on a very regular basis, because I'll have to. Oh yeah, stop that music so I can concentrate. That's why they do it, as a courtesy, because you have to brainstorm some really cool idea. Nuts in your face. Haha, that would be an average person's idea that they come up with. I don't know, man. Why is this so hard? Something just about nuts of steel, I guess. I don't know. They all sound kind of stupid, like you're trying too hard. There's got to be a better one than that. Like, why is combustible so good? Or hard nuts, or just, you know. I guess I'm not gonna be too picky then. I'm not having any luck coming up with something very good. Nuts of steel, just because they're, oh, I gotta actually change the deck too. Or, oh shit, all the new stuff is gone now, but I'll clearly be able to tell. I don't know if I want the chopper thing, although it'll be good because you're gonna be guaranteed to get to that stage in the game. But I don't think most of my low cost stuff is meant to just be that, like. Although I don't really have too many 2-cost cards, but this one's been going well, so I'm not going to worry about actually putting that in there. Sometimes I'll put the new stuff in there just as a novelty, just because, oh, I want to try it, but... Is that the only thing we got? Now I won't even know, but if it's... Oh, no, that thing, too, has got to be in there. Right, sometimes, oh, it's just cool. I just want to try that because it's just different. An environment gets +1/+1 bullseye. Now, do I even have that many environments that make that worth it? Yeah, the Loco Nut thing is very, very good as well. See, this is almost like a win condition card. If you do this, but see, you'll still win in the mid range. You're not going to like really the super late game. Like, what does Walnut even have for that? What would be like your late game play? You have like the bowling ball thing. You have this guy, I guess. Make a random plant in each other lane. I mean, that would be pretty, you know, doable, because you often do get that far with this guy. If only this guy could use Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, then I would get to play it every game and I would probably win, because, you know, Green Shadow just isn't doing it where he's not lasting long enough. I also have the root thing with the Starch Lord. So see, I have some good stuff going, but it's sort of hodgepodge. It's not really, you know what I mean? It's not really fully integrated or synergistic. So it's tough. You could argue get rid of one of these, but that's the whole fucking premise of the deck, so I can't imagine wanting to do that. Like, I guess you could, it seems like a really dumb idea, because that's what the deck is all about. But now I have 3 of these, 3 of these, and 3 of these, which I don't agree with, but just for now, I'll do it. Or like, instead of Nuts of Steel, you could do Nut of Steel, right? Like, Man of Steel. Something to do with the blue ball thing was kind of good, though. Oh, it still saves that? Okay, so Nuts of Steel, Boiling Point, or again, also known as Blinding Sunlight. Let's actually do that just to show off. Let's show off that one just so we have it there. Right, Blinding Sunlight, that would be good to suit with one that's kind of cocking you from playing stuff. Right, where you say we're somehow trying to lock you down, or if there is such a thing. Nuts of Steel, Laser Nut, Disco Ball. I mean, that is the one card that I like so much, but yeah, see, that's another one of my titles. That's not a moon, it's a walnut or something, or what is it called? It's what is the actual name? It's kind of dumb. It's a mirror nut, right? That's fucking the Star Wars quote, obviously. You got another banana, don't really care about that. This thing I am intrigued by. The Planet of the Graves thing, I don't even care too much. Yeah, see, I'm not the only one who steals off other IPs. It's like, oh, Grapes of Wrath and stuff, like they copy stuff. I mean, again, it's not really stealing, it's just creative extrapolation, but you know, if you take away all the references to other things, what would be left in this game? And possibly very little. Great power, double plants attack, and then you get double tank plants health, which is good, but it's very slow. You'd have to decide what you want to do with this. You almost would want to get rid of one of these because it's for the same cost and it serves about the same purpose, and so you feel like, but I end up using that card a lot. Actually, I get plenty of chances to do it. Like, it'll end up just costing too much more, right? It'll cost one more to do. Well, it's a late game kind of card too, and I don't get to the late game a lot. It just feels right though, because it serves such a similar purpose for a similar cost. Green Shadow, I'm surprised I haven't come up with one for him because of how much I like him. Right, we're just doing this for RP purposes. It's not like your opponent can even see it. Something to do with Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. What is it? What is it? Something, this is harder to come up with than I would have thought. It doesn't have to be like a great name, but just like, okay, anti-spell would be kind of the thing, but like trick or treat joke, like no tricks, or because we don't really have untrickable, but we have stuff that punishes using tricks, like the double Dark Matter Dragon Fruit and this guy, right? The anti-magic mushroom, like just mid-range anti-spell. That would be the, you know, technical way to put it, but that's not a very catchy name. Come on, come on. Why am I having such trouble doing this? That shows you I'm really washed up. Not even in a gameplay or casual sense, but just in a fucking creative sense. How hard can it be? Okay, something to do with mid-range, something to do with, probably something from one of my titles at the beginning, like, I don't know. Something to do with the growth, right? Like blossoming, or just something Something to do with the gradual growth and prosperity of the plants and building up a garden in a mid-range style, doing it sort of in a good pace. Something maybe from Magic the Gathering would work too, like the forest blossoming. Damn it. Like Miracle Grow, something like that. That's just, I don't know. Gotta be something better than that. That's not really a very catchy name. Like something to do with just gradual growth, building up a garden. I don't know. I'm having trouble coming up with these. I've lost to my naming challenge. Miracle Grow, A Disgusting Act, Dark Matter, Peas, and... Did I come up with that one, or is that... Oh, that's actually good. Oh, that was one of my puns, I feel like. I'd have to go back through all my PvZ hard mode names, titles, and I bet I could come up with a good one from that. 3 is a crowd, I think, is the one that maybe you start with, or... I think I did come up with that, though. I've been waiting. That's with the bean in there. Peas and quiet. It's pretty fucking good, though, actually. I like that. Is that one from them or not? I mean, these are the ones that are from them, so I don't see... Like, what do I have to do? You get some peas and quiet from... I might actually switch that. I don't know if that's one that the game gives you, though. I don't see why or how it would, though. Right, that is a pun I made, like, in the other one. I like that better, actually. Let me switch that, then. Yeah, I had it here all along, but I just didn't remember it. Or that's the whole reason why I did it, just to sort of save it. So I can show it off. So this is... let's do this Miracle Grow. Will it let me do that if I already have another deck call that? Or will it override it? This is the... what is that? I already forgot. What the fuck? It is... Peas and quiet. How about that? Even though it's not really a P-based deck. In fact, how many Ps do I have in here? Obviously, just the three-peater, the repeater. I mean, you have a couple of them, but it's not really built around that the way that you got Peas and quiet. You got Blinding Sunlight or Boiling Point is actually the one. Right. Again, it's not great, but it's okay. Peas and quiet. Nuts of Steel is really kind of lame, but whatever. Combustible I like, because that's just simple to the point, but it's also still pretty good. So what did we... I'm so distracted by the names, I'm not even noticing what we're getting. We got like the little 3-cost buff thing. Okay, combustible. You got the same thing here. I don't think you want that here. That's too expensive. I'm not gonna bother with it. Although doubling their attack, but nothing really has that high of an attack value. And first of all, doubling their health becomes useless too. Like what is something similar to that? You know, I guess it could be better than this, though, because the other 3 health might not matter as much. You know, let's give it a shot, actually. You double their attack, so you just don't really care about their health, but sometimes maybe it matters. But the values are going to be so low that it's going to basically be the same thing, right? It'll be like, oh, it's a 2-2, so now you make it a 5-5 instead of making it a 4-2, right? That's kind of what's gonna happen. I can already see it. All right, let's look at the zombies, and then we'll actually play some stuff. And again, it's not that I can't build my deck going forward, but it's a case where obviously, yeah, I would have liked to have seen that though. Like, what type do we not have between these 3? And the problem is, I mean, the answer is you probably do have all of them, right? No matter which 3 you chose, you would have had every class type. They probably do that obviously deliberately, so you can't get caught out like, oh, I got this legendary and I can't even use it because the 3 heroes I started with, right, just don't have the ability to have that. So let's see what we have here. The smash. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's see. Something to do with, again, just the beastly mid-range kind of high-end value. You have the nurses. Man, I'm really having a hard time with this. And I don't think the zombies I paid much attention to, so I probably didn't have any names prepared there. Like, what's a good zombie pun, just in general, right? This is how you have to start. Right, something to do with the gargantuars. something to do with just sort of brute force. Damn, man. Fuck. Okay, let's give it a proper thought, but let's go through some of this stuff first. So this is actually pretty good. The professional thing, I don't think I have very many professional zombies, so I'm not going to care about that. It's a good card, but it's like, is there something that's like just worse? I mean, 1 mana 2/2 is already better. 2 mana 2/1 is going to. Why is it even ordered like that? Shouldn't the 1 cost come before the 2 cost? When played, a plant gets -1/-1 for 2, and then it also or no, I thought it gave you like 1 back into your hand. That must be something else. 2 mana 2/1. Do we have something similar that is like this, but this is better because you get to, you know, you get to basically do it in such a way that you get to do a whole lane that ends up being pretty good value. This stuff we already had. Obviously, you get +3. I already have that in here, I think. Yeah, we already have that. We have what's the point in even doing this? That's the little buff. We have that. So we have some AoE buffs. Oh yeah, that's a good thing. Like instead of share the wealth, share the brains. Like you're trying to, or have like a feast and whatever. I don't know. Fuck. Something to do with. I swear I probably had some great quotes to do with it, but it's hard to come up with them on the spot or remember them, right? From that, because that PvZ hard mode series went on for like 100+ episodes, right? With how insanely long, and it's still technically not over. That I kind of forgotten about it. I would sometimes fit it in onto Thursday, but I almost don't even care. But I still want to not completely forget about it. So share the brains, or see, like, why does that even make sense with this deck though? What about it is? Right, it doesn't fit with this exactly. It just, yeah, and I even wasted 500 gems on that, but I don't feel like the game goes on long enough for me to really ever use it that effectively. So what did we put in here? Just the 1 cheese guy. So what can I get rid of? As much as I like to get rid of the raw zombie, his effect is still unique enough to justify it. This has been such a good balanced sort of deck that I can't really argue with it. Can get rid of this one of these, I guess. Right, I'm not entirely happy about doing it, but it's okay. Share the brains just because, I don't know. Something mid-rangey, something tough. I guess I'll just settle for these shitty names. I'm not happy about it. Yeah, I didn't have any names for that. Super Brains. He only has 1 new card. This one could be something to do with Bad Moon Rising, of course. When you play a mustache, it gets +1, and you get. I mean, I can't argue with the 1 mana 2/2 value that you get there. You get this gets 1 health, and you get +1. So, but you're not really even gonna do that. So, do I have something? Yeah, like this. Why do I have this? +1/+1 when you play a trick, but why even worry about that? Like, just how many tricks am I really gonna play in a not really trick-focused deck? So let me think about it. Something to do with the Bad Moon Rising, even the least of which could be a moon joke, right? Tie in with Randy Moss mooning the crowd, which is why it was called a disgusting act. Something to do with, man, and I had a title about that too, like, fuck, something to do with Bad Moon Rising, like a nightmare. Damn it. Either my memory is bad or these are just harder to come up with than I thought. Like, Bad Moon. Or yeah, you could do that joke. Bad Manners Rising, like instead of Bad Moon Rising. Right, or you could even imply it, like BM Rising. That's actually not a bad joke. I guess I could spell it out by doing that, or just assume. Like, just the fact that I'm separating it implies that it's BM rising instead of bad moon rising. Now I'll spell it out because people won't really get it. Bad manners rising instead of bad moon rising is okay. And then we have, obviously, share the brains, not really very inspired. Brain freeze is actually pretty good in itself as a pun name for the deck. Like, you know, it's already, that's what it would be. What's another good one? Like, he was eating the little ice cream on the fucking, when you go to buy him. I don't remember what all the other ones were like that. So this one I don't really need either, I don't think, right? So we have this one, which is obviously pretty much worth having no matter what. I like the surfboard guy, but maybe I could do this just for variety. But I don't know how much amphibious stuff I really have. In fact, I have nothing. Or I have that guy. No, I have a couple. I can get rid of one of these instead, or one of these. I like the surfboard guy, but I guess I'll let it go. I don't really have a ton of rhyme or reason for why I'm doing some of this either. Yeah, I like it when the name itself is a pun or a suitable, you know, namesake for the deck itself too. Not just that the hero is called Brain Freeze, but that is such a beautiful name for, you know, what I could use here. But let's come up with something. Crazy Cat Lady, also known as JD Vance's mortal nemesis. And what else do we have? Just some kind of pun to do with Yetis. The you know, that's why he's sneaky, because he's so hard to find. Not Yeti, something like that. But what would be the whole build-up? It would require too many characters to fit. Are you Yeti? Like, are you ready? I don't fucking know, man. God damn it. Yeti, Yeti, Yeti. Like that one Flash game that Yogscast Sips played, or whoever the fuck. Like, it's just some random weird thing with, like, weird physics to it that people found funny back in the day. Let's see. Who gives a shit about Bigfoot from Tourette's Guy, or Unsolved Mysteries? Unsolved Yetis. I don't know, man. It's so hard when you're put on the spot like this. See, I always come up with it before I start the stream, like an episode title, right? So I might think about it a little bit, but now when you're just thinking about it, like I'm in a rush to do it somehow. But let me see. Something just to do with mystery and Yetis and sort of mythical creatures, like monster hunting. Something to do with like a detective aspect. Right, like, oh, this is turning into a detective game in PvZ hard mode because, oh, I have to try to find the Yeti before I win. Like, not Yeti, or like, are you ready? Not Yeti, some kind of stupid pun like that, or something like, what else is there? Man. Because you have the Cosmic Yeti too, or you have even maybe both Yetis, right? Just for the theme of it. Or no, I actually don't have the other one. This one's good because if it stays around, you can keep getting like infinite value from the pets, right? Anything that's conjuration like that, that might be one of the only effects, in fact, that can be replicated like that so much with the conjuration that is so good, or at least that I have. You could do like whiteout. That would be okay. Like, again, these are so fucking lazy though. My standard is maybe too high. Like, that's okay. You know, I don't know. Whiteout, wipeout, something to do with that in terms of the brain, like whiteout, but it's more like a something. I don't know. That's good enough, I guess. I'm just being way too particular. Or between this episode and next, I could always try to come up with a better one. It's just that one and Boiling Point seems sort of lazy because it's like, yes, they're too obvious. Like, it's to do with the sun and fire, so it's the boiling point, okay. Or whatever, this is to do with snow, so aside from Brain Freeze, which they already have unlock, I could do that. Yeah, I guess that's fine. And it's not even like the functional basis of my decks have to do with that. Share the brains, and what could this one be? Infinity. You got the stupid ass egg, which I don't know if I even want that. I kind of don't want it. 1 mana, 2, and it has 0-2. Transform into zombie that costs 2 or less. Yeah, so why would I even care about that? At least the other seedling thing can be like between 2 to 6 value or something. For this, you sacrifice 1 and you deal 4. Now that's good because it could be a finisher if nothing else, right? You need 4 damage to the face and their board is all filled up. And so you go ahead, you sack a zombie to do it. And it'll do more than it was going to do anyway because it's probably a 2-attack fucking low-cost garbage. So what could we get rid of here? And the answer... And it could even act as a removal. Like even this. What's the point of that? Because I never end up even actually using it. Although I guess I can't say that because I never end up using Infinity anyway. Okay, let me try to save my best for last here. What could be another good zombie joke, pun, or namesake? And the answer is... Again, something aggro, something about swarming the board, something to do with zombies having team up, even though they're not allowed to, even though that's the whole premise of how they work in the actual PvZ universe itself. Something to do with, or like, yeah, Doomsday could be one for, or wait, what am I thinking of with that? I don't know. Come on, something to do with the zombie invasion, like if it's going well, if it's, you know, like Zomboss is winning, something to do with... I don't know. It's got. I want one to be like sort of serious too, like sort of dark, like the zombies are winning. So what would be a way to describe that in sort of short form? Just soil yourself, like I was saying. That was one of my puns in a recent one, right? Don't soil yourself. But I'm finally gonna get my first zombie hero, which was obviously the Yeti. It almost feels like either Infinity or the Smash should have been able to use Bad Moon Rising. So I have 4 heroes for zombies, and none of them can actually use Bad Moon Rising. So that was sort of the deflating element. Or even like for plants, I have Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, but I can only use it with Green Shadow, which is a good problem to have, right? Like I'm not going to complain, you know, when you get something so good, but whatever. Let me think for a second. This has turned into a whole different thing than I would have thought, but it's okay. You have the ability to look at, again, aggro, swarming the board, large numbers of zombies, something to do with a horde, mindless horde, brain dead horde. I mean, that's what zombies are anyway, but you know, something zombie apocalypse, something to do with terrorizing people, something to do with... Oh, this is kind of a good one. Even though it doesn't have anything to do with just it's your funeral, because whatever. You're going to become a zombie. Is that even how you spell funeral? I don't even know. I feel like it is. Even though it seems unnatural. Funereal. I actually don't even know. That looks right, but I feel like for some reason that's actually not. But it's your funeral. Okay, I'm being fucking lazy with these. Well, let's just go. And what did we add new again? It was just the stupid ass rocket thing. Okay, that's the one thing I never commit to memory either, is the names of all these cards. Yeah, let's just play for a little bit. This will be the final episode. Let's just review all the shitty names I came up with that I'm not happy about at all. If I had time, I would look through my PvZ hard mode titles, and I guarantee you there's some really good puns and namesakes worthy in there. So Combustible, I like that one. I came up with immediately when I got him. Boiling Point is kind of mid. Peas and Quiet is actually pretty good. I like that one. In fact, it was so good I almost thought it was one that was already in the game, like one of these, but I don't think it is. I think I came up with that, and I just said it earlier. I just left it earlier. Nuts to Steel is kind of lame. You could also do something to do with like blue balls. Right, just the fact that it's a very literal innuendo to do with that. Blue ball or balls, I don't even know. And then you also have the ability to... I want to make sure it's at the top, right? The correct one, just because I'm changing these names for the sake of it. Anti-hero is just more a functional description. Blinding Sunlight, Boiling Point, and also... what was the other one? All right, so those ones are okay. The Nuts of Steel is kind of low tier. Combustible is top tier. Boiling Point is like mid tier. Peas and Quiet is kind of top tier as well. Those are good. And then you have the zombies are going to be... it's Your Funeral. Again, it just feels like a line, a zombie associated with zombies, but... You know, it's not really anything to do with the deck, or it's not very good. I actually got to look that up. How could I not know how to spell that? Whiteout is okay. Mid. Bad Manners Rising. The joke is good, but I don't know. As far as the name of the deck, that it's really that good. Share the brains. Like I always say, share the wealth, share the love. I mean, in a card game, like, don't over buff the same thing, or don't over commit to the same lane, or whatever, right? So, let's actually look that up for a second, too, here. I was right, actually. It is spelled the way I first thought, funereal, even though it doesn't sound... Oh, fuck. It doesn't sound exactly right. See, these are more like just generic things. Like, oh, that sounds like something a zombie would say. Or, you know, it's not my funeral because I'm already dead or something. But, yeah, you have... Let's just play a couple games here. But, again, this is just sort of for gravy purposes where we're able to... Let's try to get to rank 20, actually. This is just gravy because whatever we do this month doesn't matter. But we got a legendary just like that, so casually. So... Yeah, that will be the only difference, is that if I lose as a hero, I can still play as them again, but I will have to... Let's see how we do against rank 40, which we're going to have to beat people like that to get to rank 50. At least there's no shortage of matchups that we can find because the game is so active, supposedly, or there's so many bots to farm, but... Not that I don't sometimes get farmed by them, so... We just have to rotate back. That'll be the only difference, really, that I do. So yeah, and you can tell the matchmaking is kind of fucked for that reason, but let's see what we can do. Yeah, if I get to rank 20, it'll give me like a badge that lets me start at like rank 10 or something, so that always saves me some time. I forget exactly how that works, but like the farther you get, I don't really even care about that because it'll trade in pretty favorably, so that's okay with me. But no, it's like I could also tinker with my decks and get more packs as we go throughout the month. But for the most part, do I feel like the decks I currently have and the collection I currently have is good enough to get to rank 50? And I would say maybe, but I'll have to find a way to do it anyway. Because, again, it's missing like a high-level meta thing. So these are the kind of matchups you might lose to, but... Right, clearly my superior skill to all these casual card game players, when I'm a literal professional in a manner of speaking... Like, there is a difference there, right? It's like, you might know openings in chess, but I'm the human calculator. You might have better cards and meta decks, but I'm somebody who just goes above and beyond. And again, no offense to the player base of this game, but it's not exactly the most hardcore game in existence, so I can get away with it in ways that in other games I otherwise wouldn't be able to. Moves through random lane, okay, fine. You definitely have to use the removal here, I guess, or I could still ignore it, and I could say that moves to random lane when a plant is played here, but it can't do 1 damage when it enters. Okay. I mean, I've survived most of his onslaught, but I think I'm still behind the curve too much with respect to... I guess I thought I would play those two together, but... Or I maybe should have still done it. Yeah, what's the point of holding him back? But... Zombie plate on this gets overshoot 3, but it's already dead. Does a bonus attack, so it'll at least stay alive. And then I still should have done that too. Alright, so we've survived their onslaught because their hand is pretty dried up. The problem is, I'm not going to survive much longer. It's only turn 5, like fuck, man. Even though I'm playing the aggro deck myself. I mean, these things are annoying, and you could have said, oh, you should have gotten rid of it earlier, but we would have lost on board control then. I mean, I normally would do the opposite, but because of how annoying this guy's effect is, look how we're sort of pre-moving this too. What? Right. That's my misplay. Now, does it mean I would have won the game? Probably not, because obviously, you know what I mean? There's too much. They just have too many good value effects. Too much from the same thing here. When a hero draws a card, yeah. So I misplayed that maybe a little bit, but it is a rank 43 matchup. But see, I can't fear that because that's what we're gonna have to deal with. So I'm getting a little nervous even as we think about this here. Because again, my collection and my decks aren't gonna get much better from that point. Let's give the new ones the precedent. Obviously, not that combustible is too new now, but at least compared to the rest of them. Yeah, so I'm going to have to face those opponents consistently like the rank 43. And every time I lose a game, I'm going to have to... Every time I lose a game, I'm going to have to lose stars and lose ranks or whatever. I don't know fully how that works, actually, but it is going to be very tough. So this is freeze all plants on the ground. So this is sort of a mid-rangey style, too, similar to the smash, I guess, that we would be trying to go for. But yeah, that was a little bit annoying. I don't know what to say. Like, combustible is really good at eking out those wins, but we're facing kind of a mirror deck in a way with respect to the aggro. Theirs was just better than mine, so maybe in that case you should try to play for survival, and maybe I could have won then. Instead of trying to go face for them, I should have just ignored it and tried to play on the board. Right, it's like when one hunter faces another hunter in WoW, in Hearthstone. It's like, oh, do we both go face and ignore the other, or do we both try to play on the board to negate and survive the aggro off the other? Like, even here, do I just ignore it? I probably shouldn't, but... Yeah, like, look at some of these matchups we fucking had. We played a rank 50 before on the ladder. We played a rank 40s a lot. We've beaten a couple of them, but... You know, if we're gonna have to face them every game, but then again, that's maybe not even true. Maybe it'll work the other way. We'll get our karmic justice back. We'll be rank 40, but we'll be beating up on rank 10s and 20s, right? Because there's only gonna be so many rank 40s in the game that the matchmaking has to be opened up, right? And so it's a case where I don't even give a shit. It's a case where we're rank 20 and we're playing rank 40s, but then we'll be rank 40 and we'll be playing rank 20s. So it'll give back to me where, you know, it'll even out. So you're not, it doesn't mean that, oh, you're rank 40, so now you'll play more rank 40s, even though that makes sense, right? It'll just do whatever it has to find you a matchup. That's a random plan that could be useful, but we're pretty low. Look at him doing that, fucking pounding his chest. Freeze all plants on the ground. This thing is pretty good. I thought I would like environments more, actually, when I started playing this game, but when played next to a zombie, make another zombie that costs 1. Okay. When destroyed, deal 6 damage to a zombie here. Okay. For combat, deal 2 damage. All plants get +1/+1. I mean, freezing it isn't going to stop its effect from happening, so I guess it doesn't matter. But no, I love the value that you get from this, right? Because he didn't kill it, now I just keep getting free stuff to summon. It doesn't even matter really what it is, right? It's just free value. If the game goes on, it's going to be very good. Even though that's arguably bad because you... I feel like summoning multiple things here is more important. But arguably, I should just have gone face because they're already so low. But I'm just assuming that they would have dealt with it somehow, I guess. But maybe not. I mean, and sometimes they play like bots like that. They play something and then they could have saved them, but then they won't. Right? So if I played it there, I don't know. So I could freeze them now or next turn. Or I could have bounced. Maybe I could have, I don't know. Plants here can't be hurt. Okay. So they're very low. My health is still okay, and I have like a freeze that could catch them off guard with respect to now that one still gets to hit you, right? Because it's happening in sequence. I like that. So they're down to 1. They're in a bit of trouble. Wait, they can't be hurt just forever? Oh shit. This thing will actually still stay alive. I don't know if that was really even worth doing. We could freeze everything too, but that doesn't mean that we're gonna actually win because they could still deal with those other lanes. But you can sometimes bait them here in these moments too with the little Zombot boot thing, right? The Zombot stomp. Because it's like, oh, they fill up the board and they think they're safe, but then you pull it out from under them. I love that. They're just immune forever, and if I don't have an environment, I could never deal with that. Like, what the fuck, man? Just put a force field on every lane and then you're screwed. It's expensive, sure, but I think I even talked about that. Oh, I wish I had that, and I would do it where I have like 3 or 4 of them, and I just troll them with it, right, in every lane, and you just can't deal with that. Bro is using the Seal of Orichalco, so you just can't get rid of it. Just play a field spell, right? It's like that in most games, actually. Where like, oh, the only way to get rid of a stadium in Pokemon is to play your own stadium, or the only way to play, whatever, you know, deal with a field card in Yu-Gi-Oh! There are some cards that actually destroy it, but sometimes you can get lucky with the block meter there too, where it doesn't actually trigger. Right, even with whatever amount of ticks that I have left. Nobody was ever sure about how that worked or able to explain it. There's no way that I should really die, and the reason is, well, I guess I couldn't have really even played it. Even the one dinky fucker here can possibly kill you. So how are you going to deal with 3 lanes? And how are you going to... Okay. But yeah, the middle lane I can't really do shit about. So if it does drag out, I'm a little bit worried. Freeze all gravestones, move a plant. Okay. No longer invincible though. Yeah, I wonder if some of these zombie types are actually in the fucking PvZ 2, because I don't know where they get some of the... Oh, there's the bait play, but do I have enough to actually do it? And the answer is, I could try to go for it, like... I'm gonna die myself now, though. The thing is, I can bait you, like summon something there to try to deal with this and I can bounce it, but if you remove it, then I'm screwed. But then next turn I could do this, assuming you don't remove that. Right, I could have just done that, where I play this and then wait to play that and assume that they can't get rid of it. But what if they just used removal from their hand? Then I'm screwed. Okay, that's cute, but how are you going to deal with this? You're just going to destroy it, aren't you? Or yeah, see, I win now because of the bounce, so that was good. I love all this sort of ex post facto justification people do in card games. What people did it a lot in this, but they do it in a lot in Hearthstone and other stuff too. It's like, oh, of course you should have just done this, but you didn't know exactly what they were gonna have. Even if you think, oh, you're familiar and they're using like a meta deck that you know, it's like you don't always know that. Like, you know what I mean? What if they didn't have it? Like exactly the card that you were trying to play around or something. Like, oh, if they have an AoE, I should play this, and if they don't, then I should play that. And so I guess that, okay, maybe they don't, and then they do, and it's like, how am I supposed to know that? Or you can kind of try to bait it out. Like if they had an AoE, they would have played it, so you're kind of bluffing them, right? You would have already done it last turn, but then they could be bluffing you back, and oh no, I was just doing that to make you think that. So that's always a feature that I actually ask for in games too. They should always have the ability to... I'm surprised I even bothered putting that in there. I don't even like it. It's like, how many pets do I really have? But, I'm like Robin Scherbatsky from How I Met Your Mother. But she always says that. That's like her pet peeve. That's one of those that's actually organic, because they have that episode that was about that, but it's like, that's something that she actually does normally throughout the course of the series, and probably is something that Kobe Smulders, the actor, actually probably does herself too. It's not really something you think about. And so you have the ability to what was I saying? Alright, this is fine. I'm just kind of ignoring those stupid little mushrooms here. Nobody likes Nightcap. Nobody ever plays them. I always make fun of that. But what was I saying? I forgot. Freeze all plants on the ground. Okay, I guess that's fine. So we'll trade in and we'll avoid like one hit here at least. I guess we are getting a good amount of value from that, but again, it's very situational and you have to build around it and you have to assume. But I mean, a 1 mana 4 health minion is itself pretty good value, I guess. Yeah, I always do best when I'm playing sort of an aggro style, because what you can do is you know, your collection's not going to be good enough to last them out in the long game, nor is it going to be good enough to beat them if they're an aggro deck too, right? You'll have to out aggro them. So like, I'm not going to be able to survive their aggro, and I'm not going to be able to outlast their control or mid range. So the best I can do is just rush them down before they know what's coming, and that often does work. I don't know, I guess I could have traded that a little better. Like, this would have been fine. Yeah, I've had Bad Moon Rising for a little bit now, and I haven't been able to play it effectively really even once. So it's more a case of Super Brain's deck maybe really not being that good. Why would you have played it in like that order too? I guess because you assume that, well, that's not going to have attack, but... Or that counts as a pet too, so even I baited myself. It's weird to think of Tricks as counting as like a pet that way, but it makes sense, I guess. Little Sharknado reference or something. So that's good. We just have to figure out... Yeah, see, like that one time could have killed him if the block meter didn't... Yeah, nobody was ever able to adequately explain exactly how the block meter worked. Everybody had their own theories. It's sort of random. It's just luck. It's just a fixed amount. It's based on how much damage you take. It's based on... you know, the number of hits. It's based on all these other things. Like, you got to come up with a whole mathematic algorithm to try to explain that mechanic that nobody even likes. This one could have been a pet too, I guess. He's kind of too big to be somebody's pet. We could finish him off with here, assuming they can't deal with it. Otherwise, I'm going to die myself. Or even this should finish him off almost. Tommy's here hiding gravestones. I mean, at least you're going to take like 6 from that. This will be safe. All plants get... In a way, you almost shouldn't have done that then, but... I don't think he's going to kill me, though. That's the thing. Right, I'm still going to survive. I will endure for another turn, and they're out of cards. Or no, they're already dead, too. I keep underestimating. So that was like the MVP game for the crazy cat lady. Take that, JD Vance. But no, it's like... fucking, you know, if you let them just stick around the whole game, sure, it can be good, but like, you know, why would you normally do that? Yeah, that might be the good karma that comes back to me, right? I'm complaining about, oh, look at all these rank 40s that I'm playing, but then when I get to rank 40 myself, I very well might start farming low-rated players, because again, there's no real respect for the matchmaking. Because either the game's dead, which it doesn't seem to be at all, actually, but for whatever reason, they keep doing that. Like, they'll rank me against rank 40s, like people who are over double my rank. Right, I'm rank 10, I play a rank 30 plus, or whatever. It's just totally random. Play a pet, all pets get 1. That's fine with me. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I can't remember if I've ever gotten him actually before. I think I probably have, but... in some other effect, but you know, see, now I'll win this game just because of that alone. But then again, against Combustible, that might not even come into play, right? I might not have the chance to play it, or I might lose it for that. Or no, I mean, I probably should do this because, you know, you got to realize who you're playing. That's metagaming in a light sense, but even in a broader sense, it's like you got to know exactly what cards they're going to do and exactly what they're trying to do with them. But generally, it's not that hard to guess. Like, oh, I'd love to get rid of this guy because he's really good and he's going to conjure a bunch of shit. But, like, I can't do anything about it, right? Like, I don't have an answer for him. They could try to beat into him a little bit, but now they'll use, like, a team up. And he comes at a reduced cost, too, so... no, I might actually need to do that to survive, which would imply that if I don't have it, if I didn't just luckily get it, then I would have lost the game. Like, that's really what it's going to come down to. 3-6, which is okay, because at least I can still do a certain amount. So, -2, unfortunately, is going to be 1 short. This guy you can sort of bait away a little bit. See, I'm going to lose because of that now. Just the insane amount of conjuration value that you get from that. I'm going to have to keep trying to commit to that. Amphibious gets +1/+1 and it hurts the plant hero. So we're putting a decent amount of pressure on them too, but it's more... the onus is more on them because they might burn out. But this is such a fucking, maybe he's not an aggro Captain Combustible. I'm just assuming that because that's how I play him. But you know, he could always be a aggro, or I mean a mid-range thing, because yeah, these are not really aggro cards. These are just fucking random things. Zombie gets +2/+2, that's fine. It'll survive, it'll hit you in your stupid face. I love getting carried by the superpowers too. You get carried and saved by the block meter, and then you also get carried by the superpower that happens in the middle of a turn. Like, it wasn't up to me that I was gonna get that. Like, that could have been anything. Alright, you can trade into there, that's fine. I am in a lot of danger. In fact, if you can get rid of that, I just lose on the spot. Does damage, you guess +1. Okay, yeah, this is totally not a fucking aggro deck, dude. I'm pretty much dead, and there's nothing I can do. Freeze all plants on the ground. -2/-2. I mean, I'll still do it, even though I don't get any sort of trading value out of it. I just get to basically try to, effectively survive a little bit longer. Now I could use that in the environment. It's -6/-6. Which you might think I should have done it on that, but I guess I'm expecting to sort of trade into that anyway. But actually, it might be better just to do this, and then we can save it for later. Right, so you have to just assume he can't deal with this, otherwise I'm dead. Double. Okay, dude. You know, that's not even double strike though. It's always a quadruple strike for that. You rarely actually see that card, but I can't be too dissatisfied by losing to that. So yeah, Combustible comes in many forms. I just assume he's aggro again because I'm an aggro clown with him. But you got Nuts to Steal. Yeah, let's give him a shot because he got we got the legendary with him, obviously Loco Nut thing, which is really good. Could be like a win condition card, but it's very likely not going to be because of the simple fact that I just wanted to get to rank 20, but I guess I'm gonna have some trouble doing it. It makes you appreciate maybe how far I've gotten even in the limited amount of time I play, but that shows you how much time I'm gonna have to commit now going into next month. I guess we'll wait to play the mine until they actually present something to target, you know. If they're not gonna do anything, then why worry about it? Even now, I'll still wait, or I'll use this effectively as a removal, right, for whatever they summon. Or I'll just assume it. This is also the share the love idea. You might think, oh, why not put it there? But we already have a defensive structure there, so... One time they targeted that like with their minion, or maybe it just looked like that. Like you're targeting a lane. Like it doesn't matter where you play it. It's just a buff, you know, passive buff card. So we'll wait on that. Okay, we'll put that there, I guess, for now. You gotta build up your little army here, and I like all the buffs that you get. That's okay, too. They're gonna be some sort of Bad Moon Rising thing, just to try to, you know, that's what one of my viewers was telling me. Oh, build it like that to, you know, build up brain so you can get to the point where you play Bad Moon Rising, which might be good, but I just always assume you're gonna get the chance to play it anyway in the course of a game. Like, you know, if you just, you know, have a bunch of stuff out there like I typically do anyway. Do 3 damage to a zombie here. I don't even have to worry about that though, really. You'll give that attack as well, which is perfectly fine with me. Right, so everything is fine. It always gives it to itself too. That card I always sort of mock because it's kind of too slow paced, and I think you're gonna pretty much lose before that comes into play, but maybe not. And of course, some of these just randomly cost 0. I feel like that's a persistent bug though. Like, why would that be? So many times when you get it from the block meter too, you could say that's intentional, but they always have a cost associated with them, except when you you know, are in the middle of just playing it already. I guess that mine effect was sort of redundant there. There was no point in buffing that, but whatever. I mean, it happens automatically. You go with this again. I don't like how they stay sort of erect and elevated like that, even when I choose to. Even when you lose whatever it's teaming up with. He's like, he has an imaginary friend there. He can't move on. He's traumatized by Walnut has PTSD because he's trying to get over the fact that, you know, he's trying to get over the fact that he lost his buddy that he was teamed up with, so he's still stuck there forever. Some of these things I can't tell whether they're really bugs or not. Like, it doesn't really matter, but it doesn't feel like it's meant to be there unless there's something along with it. You were slowly whittling him down in a way that seems almost weird. Okay, that's unfortunate, but we could, I guess we could move something and then we could put the planter in there as well. It seems a little bit odd, but they're not really putting up much resistance. Like, they're not doing anything. Okay, they can see. That's the one thing they can take the initiative and do. So we would, again, I'm just trying to get to rank 20. Let's see if we can within a reasonable amount of time here. Let's see if we get a chance to play the Loco Nut too. Walnut has performed generally well over this playthrough, but it's like, I know what it's going to come down to is that there's going to be these long game control matchups against actual better quality decks, like what we might even see here. And you're always going to lose in the late game value because I'm never going to have, right? You still have to win in sort of the middle of the game, because if you don't, then you're going to get destroyed by the late game value and the synergies and the whatever meta stuff, because what I have is still just sort of a hodgepodge, and I don't really have a late game, which is kind of ironic because that's the whole point, is that you can last to the late game every time with this deck, or you might have to because it's going to be slow. But then what is your win condition? And I don't have one. Like if you had the cornucopia or something might be good for this, but I mean, again, it's not up to me whether I have it or not, so I can't do anything. Because at least you would feel guaranteed that you actually get to play it every game. I still have to almost treat it like an aggro walnut because, you know, not really aggro, but whatever. You have to be a little fast paced, because if you don't end it quickly, you're still gonna lose. Not really a big fan of doing it that early, but it's okay. So we only have 3 of each of the nuts now, which I don't like. The whole point of the deck is about that, so you should have 4 of them, but I had obviously I had 3 of the other 2, and then I finally made the spine apple 3 as well today, just to fit in the Loco Nut, I think. I don't always open packs because I really rarely have done that in the last several months, but when I do, I always get a legendary because, you know, I only opened 3 just today, and I don't remember the last time I did, but it was obviously, this is one of my favorite cards in the game, both by its aesthetic and by its, I don't even know why it has to have that eye opening. Why not just have it, the whole thing be like the disco ball and just have the eyes, you know, over the top, look the same too as the rest of it. But yeah, what do you call it? Yeah, I have 3 of the spine apple, which is probably a bad idea because that's such an important card. Okay, that's a very slow play that I always mock. But yeah, it is weird that all my decks devolve into that. No matter how good I think they are, right? I still don't want the game to drag out too long. Even like with Green Shadow, I have 2 Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, so of course I want the game to drag out. But as soon as I play it, I still have to end the game, because if it drags out, some of these decks are going to just have way too much late game value. So you definitely want to do this, or the fact that it has Deadly is a problem. I might even be willing to do that, even as dumb as it seems. Right, I just really want to keep this guy around. Maybe that was too much of a commit, actually, but I could have just let this trade into there. You can play zombies when it's time for tricks. Don't really care too much about that. Yeah, this is kind of testing our collection. How hard is it to get to rank 20? Which is probably about as hard as it would be to get to any other rank, because, again, your matchups are so wild. We're playing a rank 31 at rank 17, so, like, what does it really matter? arguably you should always play that in an earlier lane, because then it'll kill stuff, you know, after. But whatever, I'm just trying to protect my precious disco ball. Disco nuts. Okay, so we gotta do this one. Starch Lord. Yeah, which one do you really prioritize with this? Like, when I want this one to be in the back just for the effect, and I want this one to be saved. But I don't think we're gonna get too many more of these now. We're getting a little cooked on the curve because we would love to play both of these together, but maybe I'll betray him a little bit and do that. We'll save our little ice block play for later. I feel like I'm gonna lose now because I'm just sort of burning out a little bit where my damage is just not going to be adequate. So all the slow plays that I make fun of them having earlier now are going to pay off. Mini Ninja, gain a mustache. What, that could potentially apply to every single card in the game? Right, where any card could get a mustache? That's kind of a cool effect. Some of which probably wouldn't be proportionately, I don't know, like on a Gargantua or something, it might look so odd that it feels out of place. Or it'll be like too small for them. I wonder actually how that works. I'm getting a little low. You have the strike through here. I maybe should have done that a different way. Yeah, this one's gonna go to waste anyway. Or no, never mind. Yeah, I have this little root synergy because most of the nuts count as roots, or some of them do at least. I forgot about that. Okay, I'm definitely screwed, but what can I do? Make a walnut. Okay, go here. It's so borderline close to me being able to do something, but... And yeah, this is one of my favorite cards that I obviously don't have. We definitely got amazing value out of the Mirror Nut. But see now, okay. The game dragged out still a bit too long, even though it's only turn whatever the fuck it was. I don't even remember. But yeah, okay, that's unfortunate. We did that. Let's do... Should we go for a Bad Moon Rising play? I guess I will. Even though I know the Smash is going to be better. In fact, fuck it. We know we're just going to lose and be cucked again with that one. So, like, if I had to choose which one will I play this upcoming season to give me the best chance to win and get to rank 50, it would probably just be I'd play Combustible over and over, and I would play maybe Green Shadow a little bit, Wall Knight a little bit, the Smash a little bit, but I might just play Combustible the whole time because, again, it's weird, but because of how much I just commit to the aggro all the time, it does sometimes surprise people. Like, I've beaten rank 40s with that before. I almost beat the rank 50, I think, with it too, because you just play so aggressively that no matter how good their deck is, it just won't matter, right? That's how you can sometimes catch people off guard. Not that they shouldn't expect that that's what you're doing, but it sort of subverts the need for a better collection because the game's going to be over by like turn 5 or 6 anyway. So, you know, whether you'll know it's over. Even if I last a little bit longer, right? I'll burn out and you know they're going to win, or I'll finish them off. That's all it is. Like, it's not going to drag out because you're going to know the outcome. Like, that's what I said about Pirate Warrior, like in Hearthstone. It's like, either I'm going to rush you down in a very degenerate way, or I'm just going to, you know, run out of stuff and it's just over. Right, so you would just concede by like turn 6. Okay, I fucked up and that's it. I'm not even going to bother playing it out. Even here, I should play a bit more defensively because Solar Flare has the tendency for aggro, but I mean, this is a good card and I finally got it myself actually, but it's not that good, especially the way that you're playing it. But I mean, it's sort of versatile that way. I didn't even play it when I like didn't have a single 2-cost minion. I still didn't want to add it. I forget what deck that was with, but no, there should totally be a mode where you can just combine the plant and zombie cards together or something like that, or combine like all the classes together, if you will. I guess I'll play a bit more defensively, but again, I'm never gonna have the confidence that I'll win under that circumstance. Or even this is fine because it won't kill it, but... Or no, of course, exactly as planned. This, destroy a planet with 4 or less. I really feel like that's going to be more useful later, so I'll save it. But no, that throws me off, and also healing throws me off because I'll be about to finish them and then they'll heal. It's like, what the fuck can I do about that? I keep ignoring this, maybe at my own peril. But I can destroy whenever I want. Or even that is kind of worth it, I guess. The logic has got to be with most removal that you should destroy something that costs more than the removal itself. But with a card like that, you know, it only costs 1, so you kind of are more flippant with how you use it. But no, it's like, you know, the squash. You got to destroy something that costs 5 or more, which sometimes you don't. Right, just because you have to get rid of something, but... Or it should almost be like double. So you should destroy something that costs 10 or more, but that never happens because there's very few things in this game that are like that. Believe it or not, I'll use it on here because the other one's going to survive anyway. This is also one of my favorite cards just because I love armor so much, and it's the only thing in the whole game that has armor too, which shows you how light this game can be on cards. Like, you know, obviously over more expansions they would have added more stuff like that, but I'm the type of dude, this is the best way to describe me in a card game. I'm the type of dude who would use this in my deck, period. Like, not with the... Because you get it from the king, right? So I wouldn't use the king to get this. I would just use this itself because I just like it. Even though that's obviously suboptimal to do. But it is actually a card you can just play straight up. Like, it's not terrible value, but nobody would actually do that. You would only get it from the one guy, whatever he's called. So he turns like one of your minions into that at the end of the turn. There's so many cards I would have liked to have had, but I can't complain when I've been so fortunate to get so many. Like, this was looking like an easy win. Now it's looking a little questionable because they sort of burnt out. So I just have to survive what remains of their deck here. Move a plan, draw a card, okay. This will become immune, and this will kind of try to deal with this lane here. This should be good. How are they going to deal with this guy? I guess I don't think of that as a sport zombie. I think of it more as like a medieval warrior, but no, I guess he has the little lance that you play around with, jousting and shit. Move this, I don't really see the point. That'll trade in very well. Look at this guy being the MVP too. Okay, we definitely should do that. Maybe there's some basic mechanic with that I'm just missing. Like, when you get it like that, it doesn't cost anything, but sometimes I feel like it does. So I swear that aspect is bugged out. MV tree. Most valuable tree, I guess, is his little pun there. Deal 2 damage to a zombie. Or it's weird that you can't even see your own name. Right? It's one thing that you can't see your own rank when you play, but... Or they, you know, they do that deliberately because they don't want to... They don't want to admit that... That animation takes a little bit too long, actually. They don't want to admit that, oh, a rank 34 is playing like a rank 15 because their matchmaking is so shitty. But that's why they deliberately hide your rank. And the same thing is true in Hearthstone. Like, they don't show your opponent's rank anymore. You don't know who you're playing against. Which the only reason why they would do that is because either it's a bot or it's somebody at a vastly different rank that they force you to play just because they don't have enough players to play against otherwise. Right, which is very likely what happens with this game too, which is understandable. Given that it's been out for 8 years and it's not in the most active state, but still. See how long this takes. Even if I win every game, it's like, come on, man. It's gonna take me all fucking day. So I'm gonna have to get used to that because... I don't know, I'm gonna have to play it almost every day, it feels like. Which is another reason why you have a bias towards combustible and aggro decks, because... Of course, this is a real person's name. Ah4. It's like the final moments before he died and passed out on the keyboard when his head just hit the fucking 4 button incidentally. But no, it's like, you know, you play an aggro deck that's really good too, because, you know, would you rather play a good aggro deck or a good control deck or mid-range deck? You want to play an aggro deck, especially at the low ranks, because you have the ability to, whether you win or lose, it's going to be over quickly, so at least you don't have to waste your time, right? So even if your win percentage is about the same, right, you'd rather just get it over with. You don't want every game to last like 20 minutes long, which is weird to complain about in this game, because this game is so fast-paced anyway, but still. You could do this and combine it with something. Be another one of those, and then this guy's going to cost 0 as well. And then this guy can serve as the frenzy play here. I play this sometimes too fast, too. Like, I know I make misplays at times, but it's like, because this game is so casual and just feels so sort of fast-paced, I feel kind of compelled to play like that, so I'm gonna have to think a little bit longer in some of these turns. It feels almost embarrassing. It's like calculating too long in chess. Like, anybody could do that, but then it feels like you're a nerd. So it's here, like, this is just a casual, clicker, fucking mobile-only game for little kids. So of course, I'm not going to want to take it too seriously, but I clearly am going to have to. And I don't want to make that excuse then later on, like, oh, it's just because. With 4 less, let me just do that just to make sure. Or wait. Well, I guess I won't now. Just in case he has a way to somehow protect it. No, the win streaks might go away at a higher rank. I forget exactly how that works. And also the fact that you're going to start losing stars and losing ranks as you lose games could keep me sort of hard stuck in place for a long time. Or that could really be the problem that I run into. It's not that I couldn't beat people who are at higher ranks, it's that I might not beat them consistently enough with those other dynamics. Because I am something of a win streak abuser. So that thing is not actually going to... That thing is not actually going to die. Right, no matter what I do. Oh shit, see, like, some of the value here is just off the chain, right? Obviously they just have a way better deck and there's nothing I can do about it. Like, having one of those cards would make my collection feel, oh look, I have a couple legendaries, so I, you know, whatever, but this guy is just rolling in them, which could happen incidentally too, but you know. Right, like, what is my win condition now when I'm at 2 health with fucking... I guess we got through their block meter at least. At least we get to see Loco Nut in some form, but... I guess at least that was conjured by something, but still. Right, like, they just have way too much shit going on here. Yeah, that's fine. You'll kill the little Chompzilla thing, so... You get to 3-headed Chomper. What a creative name. He gets +2/+2. Doesn't really even matter. Or I guess it'll survive, actually. But somehow we still have a chance, which is utterly fucking insane to think about. You could do this to try to heal, or you could try to just kill that thing. But then it assumes what else they're going to summon, so I guess I'm not really too sure. They don't have a block meter anymore, so that's the only good thing, which shows you how long this game is actually dragged out. But that shows you at least they don't have a lethal... Yeah, see, they have way too much value. Like, there's nothing else you can say. Their value is literally infinite. This could go on forever. And some of this is obviously made by Combustible, or I mean, by Captain Cucumber, but the other Captain C. But no, it's just... There's nothing you can do. Or no, logically, then you should have not done that. You should have just destroyed it anyway in the first place, right? Like, whatever. You know, you get sort of demoralized by how much value they have. Yeah, that's at least as fair a matchup as you can possibly get. I just would never believe that there's this many people actually actively playing the game at every time that I go to try to play it, right? Like... It just seems impossible to me. This is a very important effect that we often don't get because... Okay, there you go. Fucking, I don't know why you would just do that, but... Their mom's calling them to go do their homework or some shit. Or go to school, and they're already late. Fucking average, he's trying to play on the school bus, and now he has to get off. Average player of this game, still older than the average viewer of Skibidi Toilet. Now, anytime anybody's head is in the toilet in any sort of fictional universe, of course, they're going to say they copied Skibidi Toilet, as if that's such a common creative image that you see anyway. +1/+1 when the plant enters. But no, they're actually making a fucking movie out of that. Michael Bay. You thought Transformers were mindless action movies, just wait until you see this. Like, what a, you know, what better choice for the director of it, though. It kind of makes sense, actually. Okay, we get to bully a rank 5 over here. That guy's actually resigned just because he's trying to help out, because I'm frustrated with how long this is taking, but... You know, it always feels like I can just brute force stuff with respect to... You know, if I play long enough, we always find a way. It's just like, I don't always have that much time. Like with chess, I do that. Oh yes, of course, I can get to my rating of choice, right, and complete my challenge or whatever I'm doing if I play like 12 hours today, but... Or every day for like a week, but you know what I mean? I shouldn't have to do that. Yeah, just take the day off work, just break up with your girlfriend, just play every day, all day, and yeah, you'll totally fucking be able to do it, but is that really what you want to do? That's one of the many event cards I actually wasted my gems on, but you can understand the temptation to do that in a run where you never have a choice of what you're getting, so of course, right, you want to have at least that much choice, so that's the one exception that you can do. Right, aside from opening a pack, I guess, that has a guaranteed thing in there. Like the guaranteed nurses. That's how I got 2 of them. That wasn't luck. That was actually, you know, buying a pack that said it has to have one of those in there. I did it at 2 separate times, actually, too. Right, like, it wasn't like I bought 2 at once. So it came up at 2 different times in this playthrough. I don't actually understand what to do here. Because you really, I don't know. Seems like a waste, but there's nothing I can do. Like, anything I play is just going to die or take unnecessary damage, so... Why the fuck would you even do that? I mean, obviously for the immunity effect, but now if I can buff this, it just seems like a greedy play. If I can just buff this, it can still do a decent amount of damage. Oh, for fuck's sake. Double is not exactly what I want, though. Okay, it's a 6/6, which is still fine. Everything's immune again. You can double its health too, which really doesn't matter too much to me. Like, nothing is actually gonna win me the game here. Right, you would have some vague chance of doing something with respect to... Like, I don't want to put stuff out just so I can tank a little bit of damage, but this has Frenzy anyway, so... Or wait, does it or not? It doesn't end up actually saying it there, but... It has the icon for it. But yeah, whatever. There's nothing I could possibly do. You deal 5 here, that's very important. Then we can try to tank the other lane. And we could try to win with 2 of those, but... That is actually still pretty cute. Like, this can do an insane amount of damage if you just simply survive. Like... You know, or I mean, if you just simply get rid of what they have, but... Yeah, Green Shadow always actually underperforms for what you'd expect. I gotta maybe consider rebuilding that, just so you make it as long-winded as possible. Just so you get to the point where you can play the Dark Matter Dragon Fruits every time. The same way that you would say, like, with Super Brains, you can do, you know, you'll do... Okay, this will be the last one if I can't win with this, because I don't want to play as Infinity or fucking Solar Flare, obviously. But no, it's the case. I'll even keep Bad Moon Rising too. It's the case where, you know, you just want to get to the point where you can do it, and sometimes I just don't. Or with him, I've been getting to the point where I can do it, but then I just don't have a good enough board with which to do it. I wonder how competitive of a state of this game it's really considered to be in, though. Like, then I'll succeed at the challenge and people say, oh, well, you only succeeded because you only succeeded because you fucking, it's, nobody really cares anymore, nobody's really playing this game, but whatever, you know. It still is pretty hard at times. Like, some of these matchups are not very simple, or it seems like the only way I could beat some of these people is if I had a vastly better deck, which I'm not going to magically just do, right? Even if I said suddenly, oh, I can craft, right, it wouldn't matter because of the simple fact that I'm not going to have that much dust with which to craft anyway, so it's maybe sort of fool's gold, right? I could maybe disenchant everything with every other class, every other character, and just keep one character, like, you know, disenchant 6 heroes worth of decks just to make a meta deck with 1 hero, which would be worth it because then that would be good enough to get you to rank 50, but I'm not going to do it like that. I've enjoyed the variety of this playthrough, but I kind of cucked that. All I want to do is get a proper Bad Moon Rising play. Cards like this are perfect for it because, you know, you have this little death rattle protection, which means that even if you kill it, leading into a turn that goes into Bad Moon Rising, you're still going to have little weenies on the board to transform, right? So that's what you want. There's a lot of little token 1/1s and stupid stuff like that. Almost like the hero power from Infinity that summons the 2/1s for 1. Okay, this is good. Yeah, see, my board is pretty good, so all I have to do is last, like, literally 2 more turns and not have them deal with it. I've been trying to, like, catch up on uploading stuff to YouTube, but it's so fucking impossible to do with, like, some of my actual proper series, at least. So the only thing I do is I try to keep up with, like, sort of these series now in the present. But, like, I have probably 2+ years worth of stuff that I'll just never get around to doing. We got to survive this turn and this turn only, and then we'll be fine. So are we finally going to get a good Bad Moon Rising? The point is, if I do, the game is definitely over. There's no way they'll be able to deal with that, right? That almost always happens. If you play Bad Moon Rising on a board like this, and you still win, I'll give it to you because, you know, oh, just play Zomba 1000 to deal with it. But, you know, since I'm the zombie, you're not going to be able to fucking do that anyway. So you could do it, I guess, in response to the cornucopia guy. Or you're going to die. You're going to die before I even get the chance. Or, yeah, thanks for doing that because I just want to see the interaction. I don't care about winning, dude. Let me have my fucking Bad Moon Rising moment, please. At least you get 3 of them. Now I'm going to somehow lose because of doing it. Or he'll get rid of these first. Or, no, you won't be able to, though. Or you could... Don't kill something, dude. Just let me try it. That's fine, that's fine. Although somehow, that might still be a little bit scary, but you'll probably die before that happens anyway. Like, why would you think that's even good? Just because you think that 1 damage isn't going to be enough to kill you, or... Finally, we get our first actual good Bad Moon Rising play ever. And I said that before I even saw it, but you know it's going to be good anyway. Move this guy out of the way, I don't care. It wouldn't really have mattered. In fact, they're all immune, too. Zombies can't be hurt. I can't even appreciate what I got, really, from it. But this guy moves something. This guy makes them immune. This guy is the Bullseye. That is actually one of my favorite wish list type of cards. The Bullseye, what does he do? He steals your opponent's block meter, or he removes it? I think he just removes the entire thing. Right, he has Bullseye and he just destroys their entire block meter. Charge, if you will. Alright, that thing's fine. So yeah, that was really satisfying. I was going to win anyway, but that just puts it way over the top. Or if it's sort of close and in question, then it'll put you over the top to, you know, take a close game into a win. It'll take a win into an easy win. It'll take a loss into a even game at least, or potentially a win. It'll take a game where you're slightly losing into a win. Like, it basically, if you play that card with a decent board, even 2 or 3 things out there, you will basically win the game, to put it simply. Even if you're losing badly, it'll help you sort of catch up and have a chance, you know? Assuming that you have a little board. See, that you might think, oh, how could you be losing if you have a couple things on the board? But you'll have like 3 1-1s, and they'll have like, you know, 3 5-5s with good effects. So that'll still make up for it for you. We literally saw somebody play like Exodia. What are these called again? Exodia Brain Vendor. Like, they played 4 in a row on the same turn. Like, just think about how insane of a play that is. And then you can still play something else too. Like, play 4 of those and play something amphibious on like turn 3, and it's like, what the fuck? It doesn't mean you'll win the game, but you're literally playing them for free, right? There's so many funny interactions like that. I think we just saw them play 3 of them actually, but still. And obviously the amphibious, I'm just extrapolating, but that would be so funny. Like, how would most people deal with that? It's very unlikely that you'll get them all in your hand at once like that, but it's just one of those net positive things. We miss out on the effect of that, which is a little bit my fault. And that's an interaction that I feel like shouldn't really work that way. If there's 2 things attacking, the first one should kill it and the second one should get through. Even though that benefited me there, obviously, it shouldn't really work like that. You could do this, but let's do it like this, actually. When it does damage, draw a card. Okay. Yeah, we have Bad Moon Rising again, but the pace of this game seems a little worse, where I might not be able to actually play it. Or it won't be very good. I mean, you can always just play it. What if I don't have any zombies on the board? Would it not even let me play it, or would it just let it be an empty... like a dead play, I guess you could say, but not the kind that the zombies are typically looking for. Alright, that actually worked out. I didn't think I'd actually get the effect of him. Okay, so we can do this. I mean, I better just do it. No, fuck. I have to move it somewhere else, which might still work out. They might summon something else. You play here, make a copy of team up. Or in a way, it's a good thing. That way they can't keep doing that. But this can be insane, you know, with mid-range value stuff. Right. It's expensive, but I mean, they've clearly comfortably been able to play 2 of them. Each other plant transforms into 1. They cost 1 more. Team up, and it still works even when you play it like in that way. Oh god. See, this is the kind of value I just can't deal with. Like, what do you want me to do? Just, oh wow, just play an environment, but also, you know, you're not gonna have that many on demand just like that. The point is, I'm obviously gonna lose. Like, that turn alone was fucking nuts. Almost as bad as a Bad Moon Rising play. Let's actually move it back somehow. Or, you know, let's actually move this here. So we're trying to deal with it to the best of my ability, but they're just getting way too much value out of this shit. Pear Paradise. I mean, there's just nothing I can fucking do. Like, I don't even know what to attempt. Oh, you know, this is the time, though, where you try to go for a Bad Moon Rising play because you get to... I shouldn't have even put that there. I should have put it there and just tanked it for a turn and then accepted the fact that maybe what I would get would be good. Oh, my fucking god. Oh, you know what? Exactly as planned. I can still get my Bad Moon Rising play off. All right, now here we go. This is where I'm losing the game. Not just because of the board, but like the fact that they have 3 of those means that I'm gonna get fucked every turn. Don't kill anything, please. Just give me 1 turn and we can see Bad Moon Rising help me make a comeback. It's still gonna be tight, right? I'm not even entirely happy about this, but... Oh, shit. Now, see, it's kind of pointless to have 2 of them, though, because... Or don't do something now. Oh my god. No, I'm still gonna lose. It's gonna be the rare case. Oh wow. Where you get, oh, that's fucking nuts. Oh my god. I've never seen that card with that interaction before. I mean, that's cute, but they have 36 fucking health. Well, you do have a 615 amphibious that technically doesn't even have amphibious, but it still works that way anyway. I mean, it was a cute way to try to recover, but it's just not gonna happen. Oh my god. Like, that is fucking insane. Imagine losing once you get something like that. What, how to be a hero for dummies is what he's reading or something? I could try to do it again to see if that really saves me, but I don't know. I guess if I don't, I'm almost certain to lose. Or no, this is a free play anyway, though. You know, maybe we could try to do it like that and just... But I'm just gonna die. I'd have to get some effect, like Zombot. Oh my god. Dude, I gotta give this guy credit. See, this guy's using like a gimmick deck actually. So there is no limit to how much health you can actually have. I always just assumed you'd only see that played once, but this is the rare case where you play it like a fucking million times. Now, we could still get Zombot. That'd be the most epic game we've ever had if that was the case, but... That is like a little a la Kier type dude. Okay, the point is what they were doing was fucking off the chain. But that's one of those losses that I almost don't even mind because, you know, maybe we should try, you know. I said that would be the last one, but just because this next month is the final month, we should make a point to try to get to rank 20 here. But I only have 2 more chances to do it. If I lose his Solar Flare and Infinity, then I actually can't do it. Right, then I'm just done. But that'll obviously just be the last time I have a format like that because I can play as much as I want then. You know what? I don't care. Let's try to Zerg him down, which is kind of similar to Combustible, but it's not going to be quite as good. You know, I thought I took that out, though. Wait. I thought I specifically took that out to put that in. Or maybe I had 2 of them, which seems kind of stupid, or maybe I'm using the wrong deck. Maybe when I was changing the names, I actually fucked it up. But no, it couldn't be because this wasn't in any other deck, right? Because I think I just got it. Okay, this session is going on way fucking longer than I would have thought. Or quite frankly, I shouldn't be playing on the board like that. I should have... But it would have been hunted anyway, so... Bro's hairstyle is kind of like mine in real life a little bit. Except for the shit on the back. Okay, trade into there, and then you get to basically... Well, that's one of those turns that will just end your fucking life because it's fucking dog shit. You know, we've seen 2 very cuck-worthy environments. The one that makes all the plants immune, right? That force field thing. And then we have, obviously... Are you intros to cost 2 less? Okay. So are you going to actually play one now, or... Oh, wow. Let's actually ignore it and just go... Destroy all plants and zombies on the ground. You know, this would be the kind of turn where it almost would be worth it to do that. You know what? Let's not, though. Let's get in a hit here, and then I can maybe do it next turn. If they especially summon something else. But that might have been the perfect turn, because you're getting decent value from it, but they're so low that I might be able to get away with this. I just don't have, like, a good... You know, I might just have to do it here. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. No. Fuck you, dude. You're actually just gonna die if you can't deal with it now. But I got cucked by my own little anti-spell thing, which I have that card too. I'm not gonna die, but now I'm a little bit worried. Okay, thank God that didn't trigger the block meter at least, so... You're gonna be down to 4. Now what you can do here is just you may indeed have to do that, which is fine, because if they're going to overcommit all plants and zombies on the ground, which means they would have to summon it there, which they are doing. But if I had to do it now, then the tombstone would absorb it, right? I don't know how that works. Yeah, that won't actually help me. I'm so confused. So we should pop the block meter with a stupid 1-1. We might actually still have this, but it'll be tight. That doesn't really matter, or the frenzy will fuck me over a little bit. I had the chance to play the Q thing, but fuck. No, it's still fine though. It's still fine. Okay, their block meter is gone, so I just have to get in one solid hit more. It's really hard to say whether I should have done that or not. So I'll be down to like 1 HP now, but also with the heal from this, I should be fine. Or no, is that only when you hit the hero? Or no, when it survives, okay. Okay, this will be a necessity, but that was quite the play to make. And if only I played this earlier, I totally would have won, but there's nothing I can do about the fucking amphibious here. It's a very one-sided card too, because even if you, or I mean, you know, you won't be able to kill them because of that, because it's like, oh, I'll destroy all of theirs and then I'll hit you with something in my lane. Solar Flare fucking sucks. And then we'll go to Infinity to try to save my dumbass, which I haven't really played as him in a while, actually. Right, I keep trying to go Solar Flare and Infinity. It's because they're my least favorite now. The only reason why Infinity, I guess, is over Super Brains, because obviously we got Badman Rising, which isn't really fair because nobody else can use it. Yeah, we're gonna beat the second series to death one way or another, right? Whether I succeed or fail. But no, I shouldn't underestimate his aggro capability. This card actually tends to get very good value because nobody ever seems to care enough to deal with it, and then it ends up racking up damage. Right, like the overshoot mechanic in general could be very good for that. Or I say that and okay. As soon as I'm talking shit. Alright, let's actually just put that amphibious. Sometimes you don't want to do that, but if we go full aggro, they might not be able to deal with that. Not a very well stated card though, honestly. 2 mana 3/1. You know, we're getting a 1 mana 2/2 in so many of these decks that now you get this into this, which is a good sort of combo play to just fill up the board and get some good value, but there's no guarantee of it. This is really taking way too long, man. All planes get +1/+1. Okay, fine. I almost don't even care about that, but the bullseye is gonna fuck me over. So should I just ignore it? Because when those eventually die... No, you know what? I won't worry about it. It's gonna kill my own stuff, though. But then again, he's doing so much damage to me, too, that I can't... If it was triggering my block meter, at least then I could deal with it. But no, I'm gonna have to be a little more patient and take my time in these games too. Right, to have a chance to... Not that... I think the vast majority of times, even when I make misplays, I don't think they're gonna be what really determine the outcome of the game. Right, like... Oh, wow. That was actually the worst possible... What? Is that really an intended synergy by him too? Like, the reason why he has those is so it triggers that. Like, fuck. You could like use the thing to kill that, assuming that's even worth it, I guess. Okay, I think I'm just dead. You could even do that to face, which sometimes can be very valuable, right? If you just need a little more damage and they're gonna stall the game out. Yeah, Infinity got fucking destroyed in record time. I won't really hold that against him though. That was just a crazy start. All right, see you tomorrow.